It's the fastest time on South African soil, it's the fastest time on African soil, and I think the ladies do it well today. We're looking at a sub 220, which would be brilliant to have here on African soil.
Well, we'll unpack those races as they unfold, but as I said, we first going to get the wheelchair race underway as this Sanlam Cape Town Marathon takes another step forward in its bid to join the Abbott World Marathon Majors. And today, as I say, much hinges on it, but so much work has been done, so much is in place now.
Yeah, Clark Gardiner and his team have done a fantastic job of elevating the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon to where it is now. Not only are we seeing world-class elite fields in both the men's and women's marathon, but also the wheelchair race, as you mentioned already, Manuela Shah there on the left. On the right there with the red and white, that's David Weir. He's an 8-time London Marathon wheelchair champion. One short of Bruce Fordyce and the comrades, but a legend in his own right. And, you know, we're watching history today. This will become Africa's first major.
It's phenomenal. This is the spiritual home of distance running in the African continent. So it is only right that we should have a World Marathon Major on the African continent, and wonderful that it could well be happening right here in Cape Town. And David Weir finished third at London as well. So these athletes are busy, that's for sure, and in some good form.
You can see just behind the wheelchair athletes are your elite men and women, and almost that iconic stature figure of Eliud Kipchoge, former world marathon world record holder, double Olympic champion. It's unreal that he's got this huge pedigree and history in marathon running, yet this is the first time he's ever running a marathon on African soil.
It is quite astonishing, that statistic. So the ceremonial start to the day's proceedings here in Cape Town. In the shadow of the Cape Town Stadium and the Greenpoint Athletics track, there are 2 start shoots for the main race, of course, but the elites will start here from outside the stadium. Here's Jordan Hill-Lewis, the mayor of the city of Cape Town.
In particular, our 9,000 international guests, we welcome you to the mother city, and we hope that you have an incredible time here. I want to give a huge shout out to 2 gentlemen. It's my honor to stand beside them today, our national heroes, Captain Sia Kolisi and Captain Pilo. And I want to give a shout out to all of our elite athletes who are so welcome in our city, but in particular, the goat of all goats, Eliud Kipchoge. Cape Town is so supportive of this marathon. I give all the honor to the remarkable team who have organized this marathon over many years. The city of Cape Town and all of the people of Cape Town support and love this marathon, and we cannot wait to see how it crosses its own finish line in the coming weeks on the cusp of major greatness. Have a fantastic time in Cape Town and have a great race, everyone. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hill-Lewis, the City of Cape Town Mayor, and now it'll be a rendition of the South African National Anthem. can hear that reverberating around the continent, around the world, particularly from Siya Kolisi, singing it with just the same passion he does ahead of leading South Africa on the rugby field. But a wonderful rendition. Vicky Sampson, the songstress, leading the anthem here at the start of the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. About to get underway in this wheelchair race. 2 years ago, the last rendition of this race was an incredibly thrilling finish when Shaw Watanabe won by a second from Geert Skipper, who'd won it the previous year. Aaron Pike is here as well from the United States. Jetse Plett, one of the greats, all-time greats, the big man in the orange there. He is a man looking for a first marathon when he is so decorated across para-tri and Paralympic sports. And that is the quality of this field. So they will be setting off very, very shortly, and being hemmed in behind them are the elite athletes just waiting to get underway as well.
Seconds.
30 seconds ahead of the start. Great excitement ahead of the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon, and our first wave of starters is the wheelchair men and women's race. 12 men, 9 women, 11 countries represented here. And the past 3 men who've won this race are all in this field. We'll have a new women's winner because the previous winners are not present, but the quality of the field is exceptional. Spare a thought for Christy Dawes racing her final race as an athlete. Away they go in the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon wheelchair race, and they will set the pace and set the tone heading through the streets of Cape Town on this misty, cool morning, but it is likely to burn off and become very, very sunny and warm as the day progresses. Head down Fitzsonnenberg, and then they'll turn right towards the waterfront on Beach Road and snake through that wonderful, iconic area of Cape Town. Metropolitan Golf Club on their right.
Right in front of you, this is the best men's elite field that is graced African soil.
Conditions looking good. We're viewing it from the air, something we couldn't do during the peace run yesterday due to the thick mist. So this is a good sign.
Yeah, very good sign indeed. Quite a quick start there by Shaw Watanabe, your defending Sanlam Cape Town Marathon wheelchair champion. But just behind him already in his slipstream is David Weir. And yeah, we are set for some thrilling action out on both the wheelchair event and the men's and ladies marathon that will be starting 10 minutes behind them.
Absolutely. So they will head on the road and into that waterfront region, and pace is hot already. Jetse Plett is up ahead, then Weir, then Watanabe, Skipper there as well. So this is the quality. Pike in there as well, and immediately getting in the line.
And just to show you the type of pace that these athletes are going, I saw them go past the 1 kilometer mark. It was 1 minute and 43 seconds.
They are flying.
They are phenomenal athletes.
Wow. With the mist, I know that the wheelchair was a little bit of where they needed to use wet gloves or dry gloves, because it can make quite a difference, because they have to grip on their wheels and push themselves along. So it's a whole lot of different tactics that we have to think about for running, and it's quite interesting, like how much you have to think through and how much technical stuff goes into the wheelchair races.
Absolutely. Kota Hokinue of Japan was in third wheel here, and this is a quality field. Mazo is on the left here, just trying to move up. Pike, the defending champion, Nishida and Ying. That's the lead group. And already the athletes who are heading to their start, just getting a first glimpse at these super athletes. Multitude of Paralympic medals, world titles, and marathon victories in this entire field of 21 men and women in the wheelchair race. And that's Tian Bosch, the solitary South African athlete in the field on the right-hand side. And Hannah Babalola from Nigeria in the blue.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want, and watch it take shape. You can plan, customize, and expand in any direction. From tools built for one to platforms ready for many, from passion projects to enterprise-grade systems. Everything is built in and ready to launch. It's a new world of creation, where you can go as far as your imagination takes you. Can you imagine it? Let's make your dream a reality right now.
Nice to also get some great insight from Ernst van Dijk, multiple Boston Marathon wheelchair champion, and who was quite instrumental in putting this field together for the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. And he was just saying there that a very good clean start from the men, and to expect a big pack for a while, because drafting really matters in wheelchair racing.
Itzeplet is the man up here. He's achieved so many goals in his hand cycling career and para-tri career, now moving to the marathons.
You can see them all tucking in nicely behind each other there. And like tucking in behind here will save a lot of energy in the last bit. So the men who are saving energy here, they're really going to have something to give late at the end.
And this is Zhang Yong from China. And Tian Bosch alongside. Tian was 8th in 2024. As I said, we'll have a new women's winner here. And the record holder, of course, Eden Rainbow Cooper, winning the London Marathon recently, but not here. And the pace in the women's race being set by the 23-year-old Zhang Yuan from China.
And she's also the youngest wheelchair competitor amongst the elite women. And just behind her, Hannah Babalola, she's got a PB of 1:57:33 from the Grandma Marathon in the United States back in 2025. And it looks like they're on a little bit of an incline, not too much of incline on this course. It's got a total elevation of just over 200 meters. As we see Geert Schippers from the Netherlands, your 2023 champion, looking in fine form.
Yeah, and I think they'll be going through taking turns on the front and working over the early kilometers. Skipper, of course, yeah, he was second by a second last time out in 2024, and losing out to Showa Watanabe. Here comes Itzeplet. Absolute legend of the sport. David Weir on the outside there from Great Britain makes an appearance. Weir so experienced, a real legend in the sport, of course. He's at the age of 46. Yeah, these gentlemen are all so experienced. This is the cream of the crop in many ways.
Itzeplet there on the left in the full red. He's an 8-time Paralympic gold medalist. But here are the top athletes being introduced. Ruti Aga, she's got a 2:18 marathon PB and looking to become one of the first women to break 2:20 on African soil. Next to her, Dera Dida in the colors of Adidas. She is the wife of Olympic marathon champion Tamara Tola and a fine runner herself.
Yeah, we must expect big things from her. Coach Dedefu, they've cleaned up in Ethiopia. I think he's the best coach in Ethiopia, and he has produced Olympic champions, and then the wife will for sure do something special today.
Yeah, the call-up of our leading men.
Boki Kebede Asefa, he was down to run the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon last year before the event had that mishap on the day with the cancellation due to the high winds, but he is in great form. Mohammed Isa is a 3-time World Marathon Major podium finisher there in the colors of DSM. He's finished second in Chicago, Tokyo and Boston, and he will be looking at trying to make yet another podium and hopefully the top step. But next to him, the goat of all goats, Eliud Kipchoge. What an amazing scene, seeing this man on the streets of Cape Town and more especially in South Africa.
Well, he's transcended the sport, hasn't he? He has single-handedly grown the sport and the discipline through his incredible performances. 11 World Marathon Majors, 2 back-to-back Olympic titles, and running a first marathon in the African continent, on the African continent. His wife, Grace, is running her first marathon today as well.
Yeah, what an amazing feat. Eliud running his first marathon on that African continent, and the wife doing her debut marathon,
Yes.
handing over the baton.
Yes.
Next
No
to
pressure.
Next to him there we have in the yellow Adidas vest, that is Adam Lipschitz, a 2:08 marathon run at his best, but he is tasked with taking the elite men today through the halfway mark in 62:30. On the other side of Eliud we have Arjun Vulchkut, the SA record holder in the half marathon distance, and we can expect some fine pacing from these two gentlemen. The indicated pace 2:58 per kilometer, giving them a projected tempo there of 62:30 for the halfway mark, and the women looking at between 69 to 70 minutes with less than a minute to go to the start.
Well, the tension building at the Cape Town Stadium at the start of the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. It is a very significant day, a seismic year in many ways for marathon running this year, with Sebastian Sawe taking it into the stratosphere with that incredible run in London. Across that race was quite phenomenal, and it has set the tone here. And Eliud Kipchoge, well, he's loving the vibe here, isn't he? He's really getting into it. The runner's getting ready to set off on this beautiful route around Cape Town. 13 men in this field have run faster than the current record, and 8 women run faster than that current record as well. Are we going to see a record today? The chances are very, very high.
Let's not forget the local interest, Steven Mukoka and Desmond Mukhobu.
Away they go, the start of the 2026 Sanlam Cape Town Marathon, the strongest men's and women's field ever assembled on a marathon course in the South Africa, and they set off. Amongst them, Eliud Kipchoge, the greatest of all time, but there are so many contending for the victory here today. What a vibe, Sean, this is amazing.
What a vibe. Yeah, that start looks electric. It's being on a start line is something really, really special, and I think heading for a World Marathon Major, there's so much energy I'm sure that they're carrying there today. They all know it's good conditions, all the athletes are prepared to run fast. As Hendrik said, we have a few South Africans in there. I think there's 4 or 5 South African men. Unfortunately, no South African women doing the marathon today, but at least we still have some men representing us out there today.
Tudo é possível na Monday. Ela é uma ferramenta flexível e modular. Após usar a Monday.com, hoje eu consigo ter uma visão rica em tempo real e eu não preciso gastar energia fazendo esses dados, cruzando esses dados, porque a própria ferramenta já está customizada para nos trazer essas informações. Ela é visual, ela é dinâmica e eu mesmo consigo criar algumas automações. Então, se existe uma necessidade, eu sei que a Monday vai me ajudar de alguma forma. Não existe não dentro da ferramenta.
Head off down past the golf course and to the road, very shortly turning right.
Here we have one of the local athletes, Sitle Mapukata on the left. I'm not too sure what he's doing there because he's not one of the elite started athletes there. You can see he's in one of the normal batches.
Yeah, I saw him jump. As we came away from the shot, you saw him move into the field.
Wow.
Not entirely sure how he managed to do that and why he's there. Nevertheless, behind him, Adam Lipschitz and Adrian Wilshire, they'll be doing the job here. The pressure and the responsibility of setting the pace is a big one.
Yeah, it is a big one. I think Adam's really, really good at it. He's paced all over the world, and I think he's a perfect person for this. So I think he'll set the tone really nicely for it. And I think Maxime will be good for the women as well. We have some Ethiopians as well in the women. They're teammates of the Ethiopian ladies running, and I think it just helps to tuck in behind that.
Yeah, very professional pacemaking. Yeah, Adam is very experienced there, and Adrian is very fit. He ran a sub 1 hour in New York half earlier this year. So yeah, they were in for a very fast race up to halfway. 62 will be easier job for Adrian. So yeah.
Yep. What makes a good pacemaker, Hendrik? What's the key? What's the important thing there?
The main thing for the pacemaker is not to take the pace up and down. You need, like Quinn says, let's go 258, 259. If you are out of pace, it must be by like 1 or 2 seconds. So you want constant pace. And this is what we're going to get. So let's expect fast times here.
I know who you're looking at. The man in the middle there.
Bernard Biwott,
eh?
Yeah, the man in the middle there with race number 30. And a very, very strong athlete who lives and trains in Iten in Kenya, around 32 kilometers away from Eldoret. He's run 2 marathons in his life. He's won both of them.
Frankfurt and Paris, yeah, 2:05:25 at Paris, and a pretty handy debut at 2:05:54 as well. So he's there, isn't he?
Definitely, and the fact that they're going at around a 62:30 pace, which is the pace that he's used to, and the fact that he's right there on the pacer's shoulders just shows that he is here to run fast and run really quick.
Now the other start venue is on Beach Road, and starting there are the Abbott World Marathon Majors Travel and Tours Age Group World Championships, which is another feather in the cap of the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. Athletes from all over the world are taking on the Age Group Marathon, which is a significant moment for all these athletes. Around 1,800 of the best age group marathoners from around the world, from categories 40 to 44 to over 80 years of age. 70, I think, over the age of 70 in this field. Quite phenomenal. Wonderful to have them all visiting South Africa. Some 8,000 athletes across the events from all over the world here. The lighthouse in the background, Moody Point, Green Point, a beacon, and this, as I said, one of her 2 start shoots for the first time.
Yeah, you can also see the world champs athletes have the yellow bibs, so they'll be easy to spot out there, which is nice because people can cheer them on. They know that they're going for the world champs. It's nice to have that part of the race. I think they really are ticking off all the prestigious boxes for this race today.
Yeah, we're literally watching history here in the making. You know, all around the world, the most iconic events like London, Boston, New York, Berlin, Chicago, Tokyo, Sydney, and now on everyone's lips, the Cape Town Marathon.
Absolutely wonderful scenes on Beach Road in Cape Town. The Atlantic Ocean is mere meters away from these athletes, and mere seconds away is the start of the 2026 Sanlam Cape Town Marathon for the Abbott World Marathon Majors Travel and Tours Age Group World Championships are underway, and they head off in their various different categories, running to become a world champion here in Cape Town. A very significant moment indeed. Beautiful scenes as they set off. Everyone running, and with the age group world championships like this, you know, they're all running their own races, different in their categories, just try to get the pace right and wonder who their opposition is. Someone in South Africa have an opportunity. You know, there are runners from all over the world here. So it's just wonderful to see.
One of the gentlemen that both Hendrik and I know quite well, Gert Brien, he is a cargo pilot from the Netherlands, a very good close friend as well to Eliud Kipchoge, and he is running here in the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon today in this very batch, and his goal is to break 3 hours. He's broken 3 hours in all other 6 of the World Marathon Majors, and he's looking in fine form, Hendrik?
Yeah, always fit, loves running, and loves running all over the world. You know, these age categories, these guys, they will do anything for running. So they travel all over the world. They enjoy, they have targets, sub 3, some of them, some will go sub 350, sub 330 or sub 4 minutes. And yeah, but they are here. Awesome.
Wonderful, wonderful to see. What a beautiful sight it is. Cape Town, just breaking dawn here with a cloud cover. We will get sunshine, don't you worry, later in the day, he says, hopefully. But it is likely that we will get the sunshine breaking through the cloud, which isn't too thick, and the mist has lifted, although Table Mountain, for the time being, obscured by the low cloud over the Table, and of course over Devil's Peak on the far side there. Lion's Head on the near side, I think, is perhaps a little bit exposed, but what is exposed is the beauty of the city of Cape Town today. Absolutely
And
stunning.
the beauty of seeing 27,000 runners out there on the streets today.
Here we go to our elite men. Eliud Kipchoge. So what is to be expected from Eliud Kipchoge today? Kieran?
I think today is the start of his 7 marathons on 7 continents over the next 2 years. He has been a very busy Eliud Kipchoge. Ever since he's arrived in Cape Town, he's done a number of events with different sponsors, with the race. He attended the youth choir that participated on the Friday night, a spectacular event there, and he gave a really great motivational speech there. A lot of people are saying, he's not too serious, but I mean, Eliud Kipchoge, a 2-time Olympian, former world marathon record holder, he is still got that competitiveness in him, and he's looking good. It is still early. Whether he can stay there for the rest, only time will tell. But you can see that as they've made that little incline now onto the bridge, just less than 9 minutes into the race, the pace is really starting to quicken up. You can see some of the athletes dropping off at the bottom of the bunch there. Just on the bottom of the picture, Stephen Mokoka, 3-time Sanlam Cape Town Marathon winner, already off the bunch, but he did say to us he's not going to go for the pace. He wants to run a conservative first half, and he will be aiming to run the sub 2:10, which he believes will get him a good position at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think that could be the way to go today. The first half of the race is a little bit tougher. That's where you'll find most of the hills. So if you could run the first half quite smart, if there are people that have gone out too fast in the first group, you have a good chance of catching them in the second half of the race. I think for a local athlete, Stephen Mokoka, he knows this race. He's won it a few times. He knows how to race it, and I think he will do a good job today. I think we can look forward to seeing him up there.
But it's amazing because the guys all know that the pace is 2:05, but they're all there. I mean, majority of the internationals are there, so it means this is serious. They are going for a really fast time. And like Eliud Kipchoge, he still ran 2:05 last year in London. So yeah, he's in it for a win possibly. Yeah, I think he will stay there for as long as he can.
Yeah, Eliud looking in great form there on the left. There is only one South African in this lead bunch, and that is Bennett Saloy in the colours of Boxer Running Club. He's just there in the middle of the picture in the full red strip. A very talented athlete. He's a South African marathon champion from last year, and his personal best of 2:13, a lot slower than the 2:05 current pace, but that was done at altitude in Kimberley. Another athlete that we haven't mentioned yet, who is in the middle of the pack with the pink vest, that is the youngster Kamohelo Mofolo from Lesotho, the Lesotho national record holder over 10 kilometers. He's trained by James McCurdy out in America, who's also the coach of Tebelo Ramakwana from Lesotho, a multiple top 10 performer on both the Olympics and world stage, top 10 performer on the world marathon majors. And it's going to be very exciting to see what Kamohelo Mofolo does today in his debut marathon. According to Coach McCurdy, in very, very good shape.
Yeah, Kamohelo is a very big talent. We saw him when he started running here in South Africa. He has always been a front runner, and that's what he's doing today. He's going with the pace. He's giving it all. He's taking risks, and it might pay off. He might get a very big PB. maybe a 206, 207. We never know, but he's going for it.
Just bending into the little incline now as they head up onto Nelson Mandela Drive. We saw a quick image of the man who's won this race before Quer and came second. What are his hopes today?
Yeah, he is also in great form. He's a former winner, as you mentioned. Also that second place. He's coming off a new PB. This is his second marathon already of the year. He ran a 206 in January in Houston. And yeah, looking in great form. But I literally have goosebumps just watching this right now. The likes of Bokia Sefa, Justice Kongogo, Mohamed Issa in the DSM team, Jamal Yima, he's a 58-minute half marathon runner. These are athletes that you only see running all around the world, yet here on African soil, they are doing it at home. And it's so great that an event like the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon has stepped up like this and is at the big stage as an Abbott World Marathon Major, because all around the world, it's the East African athletes that dominate. And it's about time that they had an event of this stature on the continent.
Our elite women are underway. Brief shot there of Maxime Chometer, who's setting the pace. And this is our elite field. Likewise, like the men, a high-quality field here. Some legends of the sport in here. And runners who are likely. There's one of them, certainly, the legend, Edna Kiplagat in the pink, just running out of picture there.
Yeah, that was really apt how you mentioned legends there with Edna Kiplagat there. 47 years of age, yet no sign of slowing down. She's a double world champion. She's won Boston. She's won races all around the world. And interesting to see that we know that the women are going off between 69 minutes to 70 minutes projected halfway time. Yet the whole entire elite field are almost, we even have Fortunate Chidzivo in the colors of Nedbank, the Zimbabwean athlete. She's only, and I say only, she has a 2:32 marathon. This is a very, very fast tempo for the athlete.
Yeah, I think you can see all the ladies have tucked in there. I think it's also a little bit hard because if they haven't gone with the group, then they're out there running by themselves, and a marathon's a long way to go by yourself. So I think it's a toss-up where do I stick in the group and do I go with the pace, or do I run by myself? And sometimes it is better to just try tuck in and have company for a little bit of the way, because then you get pulled on for a little bit longer.
It looks like they're all tucking in. We're going to see massive personal bests today, I think.
Yeah, Edna looking very, very relaxed, but I think one of the biggest danger women of the event, the athlete in the colors of Adidas there just behind her, Dera Dida, a 2:18 marathon run at her best from both Dubai and Berlin, and the wife of Olympic marathon champion from Paris, Maratona. And the way Maratona obliterated that Olympic course record on that day. Sean, you were there. You ran that Paris Olympic marathon. It was a very tough course.
Yeah, it was a tough course. If you looked at that course, you're like, no, this is not a PB course. It's not a course record course. And the ladies went for it. They're absolutely flying. So I think it shows how strong she is. So even with Cape Town Marathon having a few hills, I think we're really looking to a good time today from her.
You can see a little bit of communication going on there between Adam Lipschitz and Arjun Vulchkut. And as exciting as it is to see Vulchkut here as a pacemaker, I cannot wait until he runs his debut marathon, because this is a world-class athlete. I think by the time he gets to the marathon, Hendrik, 203, 204 debut perhaps.
Yeah, we're very lucky. We have Adrian, we have Maxime. Yeah, they will hit the marathon probably the same year. And then that's when we're going to see the best of South Africa. We're expecting
the next phase.
The next phase. You're going to see a 204, 203 from these guys. Yeah. And I just hope that the young ones out there are also pushing hard so that they can be part of this new group of guys who are going to be running for us under 205. So it's exciting, actually.
And I think you saw a little bit of concern there on the face of Arjun Vulchkut as they make their way towards the first of the elite water tables. And with that little hill, I think it slowed them down just a little bit going through the 5 kilometer mark there. It was around about 15:01, so just off the pace scheduled. They were looking at 14:50 for that first 5 kilometers, but with that incline on the bridge, I think we're going to start to see them making up time now, Sean.
Yeah, I think so as well.
As you see there, Adam, another little glance at the watch. And brilliant pacemaking by both Adrian and Adam. And Boki Asefa, the 205 guy right next to him, he's a very aggressive front runner. And that shows, Hendrik, that the guys are wanting to run quick today. Normally when the pace is set fast like this, you can start to get gaps, but the guys are pushing up front there.
Yeah, still a big group of guys. I think it's to do with the weather conditions. And some guys also seen that top 10 is going to be very difficult. You know, top 10 pace, out of top 10, you don't get anything. So it's better to be in this bunch. If you want to make top 10 and make some money, you better be in this bunch.
Yeah, and that's another little incentive, of course. Good prize money on offer here. Without the bonuses, over around 4.8 million in total across the races, but there's plenty of opportunity to add to that via the record-breaking runs. So the pace is good, and the men doing the pacemaking are superb and know exactly what they're about. Adam Litchfield keeps checking over his shoulder, making sure it's all intact, and perhaps looking over his shoulder and saying, am I really running with Eliud Kipchoge on my shoulder?
Yeah, I think to be touching shoulders with someone like that, and he's actually setting the pace for him, it must be such a privilege. They look very comfortable. I think the men, they've all a nice group still. You can see it hasn't spread out too much, so they've all still agreed with the pace. They've gone through 5Ks, they know where they're sitting, and I think it's going to be a brilliant day.
Well, this is one of the busiest roadways in South Africa normally on a weekday, but it is belonging to the runners today in the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon, which is just a wonderful scene as they make their way through the city. And now with the leading women, and they coming through to that split as well. And there it is, 17:14. The pacemakers are on the front there, of course. Unity Dagnall and Aletta, the other pacemaker. And of course, Shomiton there as well. Everyone together for the main contenders anyway.
Yeah, all there in the bunch, and you can see them strung out a little bit, but that's just because they went through that first elite water station. And there's always an increase in pace of the elite athletes to get their bottles. And you'll see that these elite athletes have got all their different mixes in these bottles, and they pick them up at every 5 kilometers. So all the way from 5 kilometers up to 40. It's at 5 kilometer intervals, they will receive their bottles and different carbohydrate mixes, some gels there, and fueling, very, very important in the marathon. We saw Yomif Kajalcha and Sebastian Sawe in the London Marathon, that historic race where they became the first 2 athletes to break 2 hours in the marathon, and Kajalcha missed his bottle at 40 kilometers. And they've actually come out to say that perhaps was the reason why he lost the race, because his fuel just went down.
Yeah. Little thing. Well, I mean, it's not a little thing. That's a big thing. And in the last couple of kilometers, make a big difference.
Yeah, fueling is very important these days. I think that's fueling plus technology, shoe technology, is what is taking these guys to the next levels. Unlike previously, where fueling was we know we didn't have all this expensive and very powerful supplements. Now, the technology of the shoes and the fueling is what taking these guys to sub 2 to sub 220, and yeah, exciting.
Yeah, the fueling and the technology we've learned over the years, I think, has really impacted the sport positively. The shoes and the technology, it not only helps you on race day, but helps your recovery in your daily training. Like, your legs aren't taking that hard impact, which means you're able to train harder, you're able to train smarter, then you're recovering and fueling better. So everything just really, really affects everything in a positive way. And I think that's part of the reason why we're seeing such fast times these days.
Heading down Searle Street, I think now down towards Victoria. They'll turn right on Victoria and then head pretty much for the next, all the way through Woodstock, on the way through Mowbray, Observatory, Rosebank, Rondebosch, Newlands, before turning and heading back to the city.
And you can see Adrian Volchkut there saying to the guys, come, let's go. This pace needs to be quicker. Always looking down at the watch there. They've already dropped some of the athletes off the back of that bunch. But there, Bennett Saloy looking very, very good on the right-hand side. The lone South African, I say lone South African, both Adam and Adrian are South African as well, but they are pacers. But let's remind everyone watching at home that the pacers are allowed to finish. Once their job is done at 21 kilometers, if Adrian Volschkut or Adam Lipschitz decide, I'm feeling good, I want to contend, they could mix a lot of things up in this race.
It's happened before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just that they've turned right now into Victoria, and they now will head along this road through what used to be the heart of the textile industry in Cape Town, and it has...
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
Impossible.
Nina can't code.
Interesting. Can it generate reports?
It can now.
Nice.
So you're saying we can all build apps now?
Yeah.
I'm on lunch. I gotta make a call.
I'll be right
in my
back.
office. Just built an inventory tracker. Protein calculator. Book share an app.
A workflow manager that
Tracks who still owes for the group lunch.
Trash duty schedule. Since no one seems to care.
You guys built a performance
I just created a goal tracking system.
We built the same thing, didn't we?
Yep.
Can this thing manage content?
Is the SOC 2 compliant?
I want to animate this graph.
Create a party planner.
Profesor de Español.
An inter-office dating app. For dogs. For office dogs. You know what I mean?
Become very much a home for small businesses, for media, for restaurants, for entrepreneurs. A wonderful rejuvenation has taken place in this part of Cape Town.
And a lot of communication going on between Adrian Volschkut and Adam Lipschitz there. The fact that they're running at 2:58 per kilometer and it looks like they're out on a Sunday jog, really talking with ease, just shows the class that these athletes are. There's Justice Kongogo getting some of the water from the station, and besides the elite tables that these athletes have every 5 kilometers, there are also water stations every 3 kilometers in the race with the different substances that the athletes can take. But yeah, the athletes looking good, just cooling down there. We did mention that dew point earlier. It is cold outside, but with that dew point being over 15, the inner temperature of the body quite warm. So nice to see them trying to cool the body down, because operating at 2:58 per kilometer is no slouch at all.
Yeah, and with that dew point, you are going to sweat a little bit more, so you need to make sure that you're sipping on water the whole way. So you need your fueling, but you can't. You could see all of them stop to grab water there. They all want to make sure that they're not losing everything as they sweat it all out.
It's amazing. I'm seeing the American Rancho, a 2-on-1 guy, still stuck in the pace. So yeah,
There he is, yeah.
yeah, at the back of the pack.
Yeah, very strong.
Yeah, he committed. Looks like he's gonna get a big PB today.
Very strong athlete from USA. He ran his debut marathon in New York last year, 2:09:58. He's part of the Minnesota project based there in the United States. And yeah, like you mentioned earlier, Sean, it's that decision you have to make from the get-go. Do you go with the bunch or do you run your own race? Very hard to run on your own.
Yeah,
It's a difficult one.
Yeah, when do you make that call?
I think you kind of have to make it as the group's getting away or not. Yeah, it's a very much in the moment process. So what we used to do is we used to decide the night before, like, what is too fast? Because there's definitely a limit that would be too fast. And sometimes on the day you just decide, oh, I'm just going to go for it and I'll see what happens on the other side.
Further up the road, David Weir in the wheelchair race, setting a cracking pace. The man from Great Britain, an absolute legend in the sport. This is a jam-packed field, so the risks going to be taken. These athletes are going to be pushing for every single opportunity they can to take advantage and make it count. But David Weir, an 8-time London winner, he was 3rd there this year, so he's got some good form.
Yeah, and he did mention that in London he actually had a mechanical failure with his wheelchair. So hopefully no issues for David Weir today. But back to the ladies' race. And this was the youngster, Joel, if I'm not mistaken, the 23-year-old, and still looking good.
And Hannah Babalola from Nigeria going very well as well. They are heading through Rosebank, I think, and heading towards the Rondebosch area, but Babalola going very well. And I think that's Tian Bosch just ahead of her at the back end of the men's race. Excellent start here from Babalola. I think Manuela Schur might be ahead. The favorite for this race, the Swiss athlete. But Babalola going very solidly here, keeping her in sight.
Yeah, with just some updates from Ernst van Dijk saying that the timings showing that Chen is leading the ladies race, but it seems that there may be no timing chip on the race favorite Manuela Shaw. So we'll have to just get some updates from there. But also fantastic to see that Christy Doles is in running for the top 3 in what will be her final event.
Yeah, she's decided to call it a day. She was very emotional on Friday, talking about what would be her final day as they go past the one of the great art centres of Cape Town, the Baxter Theatre on the right-hand side. Up above that is the University of Cape Town and their halls of residence, presiding under the Devil's Peak and over Cape Town. And look at the people out already. Lovely to see. There's the Baxter. Great support for these athletes. And it'll just keep growing and growing as Cape Town's people come out and support the athletes.
Yeah, I think the support is what makes a marathon a marathon. It pulls you along. The more support that's out there, the better it feels. It's a long way to go by yourself, so it's so great to see so many people out there supporting. I think it'll help the wheelchair athletes push them along as the masses of runners come through, as will help all of them too.
So Rhonda Bosch beckons for these athletes. David Weir a little bit further ahead, heading towards Newlands.
Você é o melhor chefe que essa empresa já teve. Como eu cheguei até aqui? Monday.com. Vamos direto ao ponto. A gente entregava 6...
But yeah, that crowd support, it's an intangible in many ways, but you as an athlete know what it feels like and know that feeling.
Yeah, you feel that the whole way.
Back with our elite men. Biwott nicely positioned, hasn't been further away than that at any stage in this race thus far.
And it shows that he's here to run serious. He's in great shape, he's in great form. Speaking to his manager, Eric Lilo, he said that the man has got 2 marathons to his name and he's won both of them, both in 2:05, those victories in Frankfurt and Paris. And Henrik, when you see a guy like that, Biwott, he's still new to the scene, but you can see that he's wanting to dominate here today. He has not been off the heels of the 2 pacemakers, and indicating that he's in great form, looking to run really well today.
He's in great form. Yeah, you know, he trains, like you said, in the Great Rift Valley. So expect big things from him. And he's sitting right next to the pacemaker. So he's giving the Ethiopians an indication that I'm here. I'm ready to win these things. But you can see they're watching him closely. Yeah, so it's gonna be very tough. Big names. Yeah, it's still early to see who's gonna take this one. Yeah. But Adam is doing a very good job, bouncing along, looking good.
Well, big names as well as big prize money, $35,000. That was not rands that you saw on the screen there. $35,000 up for grabs. And there we have a shot there. Eliud Kipchoge. Is he perhaps falling a little bit off the pace now with those athletes coming past him? Still such a versatile athlete. And the fact that he's going out here after all of the appearances that he's done, part of his 7 marathons on 7 continents, and what a great competitor.
Unmistakable stride, isn't it? It's one of those iconic sights in sport. One that people who aren't even involved in and interested will recognize that man is one of the all-time greats. And he's got such a rhythmic, beautiful stride.
He's also just such a good icon for the sport. He's so friendly. He's
wonderful man, yeah.
I bumped into him briefly when I was in the Olympic Village. I was dishing up potatoes one night, and I turned in there, he was dishing up potatoes, and I was like, and I was like, good luck for tomorrow. And he just turned around with the biggest smile and said, thank you. And I think it just shows what a humble guy he is, how much he adds to the sport with his personality as well as his legs. They do a lot of talking, but he brings so much to the sport with his personality as well.
Well, that gives you an image of where they are, and in fact the whole route, of course, as it heads out to its furthest point at Claremont before turning back and then coming through the suburbs of Cape Town. And Kiplagat is still looking very good. Remarkable athlete. But Dida has got the most economic and easy-looking stride.
Yeah, Dida, I think, is one of my big favorites today to take the title. Edna, almost an unofficial pacemaker for the ladies, although there are the 3 pacemakers just in front of her. Another athlete that we haven't mentioned much of, just at the back of the pack there, Lorna Salpeter. She's actually the quickest in the field, 2:17 marathon personal best. And she has a phenomenal story. You know, she originally was from Kenya, moved to Israel. She was a cleaner there, and she started jogging after giving birth to her daughter. And yeah, she is as a world-class athlete. She's run all over the world. She's got phenomenal titles, and also such a great human. You know, speaking to her at the hotel, she had great things to say about South Africa, about Cape Town, and she's excited to be running on African soil.
It's wonderful to have them here.
And she's very aggressive runner.
She is.
Yeah, I saw her in the last Olympics. I mean, she was leading for long, and going for it. But then she bombed. But at her best, at 2:17, she's very good. 2:17 is a personal best.
Yeah, she has won Tokyo, and she's been second at New York. So I'm sure she's going for a win today to try and get another world major win. So it'll be great to see how she can run in there. You can see she's just hanging at the back, and that's probably a tactical.
First sign here from Bernard Biwott. So what are we seeing here? Well,
Very, very interesting as we see that split there, 30:01 through the 10 kilometer. And I think you perhaps saw Biwott in the front there because they've just gone through the second of the elite water stations. So a little bit of an increase in pace to make sure that they get their bottle. Hope Bernard Biwott did get his bottle because you can see all the athletes around them with their bottles in the hand. No bottle for Bernard Biwott there, but the projected tempo now just a shade over 2 hours and 6 minutes. But that would still obliterate the course record. I think we're in for an exciting race today. You can see, again, the communication there between Volschut and Lipschitz, just trying to keep that pace honest. And the guys are going for it today. We are in for a thrilling race. And the fact that the second half is even faster.
Yeah, it looks like Biwa is in a rush. He wants to go. He can't wait. He's telling the pacemakers to go.
Look at the effect of it. Eliud Kipchoge is starting to lose touch with that group.
We have Bennett Saloy still in the back there. Good to see our South Africans still in the mix. Yeah, it looks like Eliud is struggling a little bit with the tempo. Their 5K and 10K seem to be the same pace, so that maybe they agreed on slightly slower than 60-30 through halfway, which is probably because of the hills in the first half and the dew point. It was probably a tactical decision, but they're still holding the same tempo, but they've possibly picked it up now from 10Ks to see if they can make up some time.
Yeah, the communication out on the road, there are those cyclists also on the side of the road there that will be giving information to both Arjun Volschut and Adam Lipschitz, and a little smile there. Arjun looks like he's out on a Sunday morning jog, yet they're running at under 3 minutes per kilometer. It's phenomenal the way these athletes are.
They are incredible. Yeah, and the constant communication, which is wonderful to see, and smiles, people recognizing him, but he's a local man. They know him well. The others in the field perhaps not quite, except for the man at the back. They probably do recognize Kipchoge, but yeah, it's a wonderful opportunity, and they're clearly enjoying it and relishing it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And these guys are taking full advantage of these conditions. A little smile there as well by Adam Lipschitz there. But Bennett Saloy, Hendrik, is looking really, really good. I know it's very early. It's only 10 kilometers into the marathon. They say the marathon starts at 32 kilometers. But he's our lone South African contender, and he's looking good.
It's amazing. He took a big decision. He's going with the fast boys. He wants to run fast. So yeah, let's expect big things from him.
So, I mean, in that point that he took the decision, I think we talked about this a little bit earlier, at that moment where you think, do I hold back, or do I stay with them and push myself just a little bit deeper this early?
Yeah, I think he's probably gone with the, I'm going to trust the training I've done, see
back
how it
myself.
pays off. Yeah.
I support the decision. This is what I used to do. You know, you won't know your potential until you.
Tem uma ideia de app web que vale milhões? Com a Hosting Your Horizons, ela vira realidade.
You go out there and push. It doesn't matter if you struggle later, but give it a try. Because running alone at the back, running a marathon alone is a big ask.
I think even Elliot knows that he's trying to make it back onto the back of the group. He doesn't want to run by himself out there.
And you can see on the back of his vest there, he's got his favorite slogan, "No human is limited." And I think Elliot might be telling himself that as he closes that gap back to this elite bunch in front. Little glance back there by Bennett Saloy. I think he's almost thinking, I can't believe it. I'm running in front of Elliot Kipchoge.
I better get this clip of video because I need to show my kids. Yeah, wonderful.
Well, one of the athletes we haven't spoken too much about, who we will get back to as we see the elite women coming through the 10-kilometer mark, and 34 minutes and 40 seconds there for Tesfaye Kutete-Leta. That is the pacer up front there, Dara Dida, who we've spoken much about. There she is in the Adidas strip in the middle, in the purple. And then a very dangerous lady as well, who's showing in position 8, but she's now up front there. That is Mestawut Fikir, also a sub-220 marathon performer at her best. And we've got more than 10 women here operating at sub-220 tempo. This is fascinating.
I think they're going a little bit slower than 220 tempo at the moment. If they've gone through 10Ks in 34:40, which was probably a tactical decision. So the pace was supposed to be 69:70 for halfway. But I think also the ladies probably decided they're going to go a little bit slower in the first half. I think it's a tactical decision, which is probably why we see such a big group at the moment of ladies running.
Just crossed over the N2 highway, which heads out of Cape Town, and they are in towards Rosebank now, the leading women. And I must say, Fakir does look such an economical, easy-looking style there, John.
Yeah, she does. She looks very comfortable. She looks like she's jogging.
Everyone has their own styles, and everyone has the way they run. And some you look at and think, how on earth do they run as fast as they do in this sort of way? But that's how different everyone is.
Yeah. I think it's like there's a lot of talk when you are running and trying to improve your times and stuff, like, do we change your mechanics and try and make your form look a little bit better? But if that's how you move naturally, and if it does look a little bit awkward, but it's still fast, that's your best way to go for it. But all these ladies here are looking very comfortable and smooth.
Well, there we are, back to the men's race, and one of the athletes we haven't spoken about too much. He's just behind Justice Kongogo, the tall athlete in the back there. He is running in the colors of DSM, and that's Maru Teferi, second place athlete at the World Championships in 2023. He's also been to 3 Olympic Games, and he's got the national record for Israel, 2:04:44 from Valencia. He is a very, very strong athlete. He's run a number of marathons. He's there next to Mo Issa, and there we have his stats. Second at the World Championships, as I mentioned, 3 times Olympian, and he's the national record holder in both the marathon and the half marathon. Expect to see major things from Teferi today.
Yeah, he's a very tough competitor, yeah. Like we have seen it at World Champs. He fights to the end. So, yeah, let's expect big things from him.
Just going past Grooteskier, the residence of the president of South Africa. They've just that little drag up out of Rondebosch and now towards Newlands. It'll be the old Newlands rugby stadium on the left-hand side, the cricket ground, and then the swimming baths as well on the right-hand side, and heading towards the turnpoint.
You can also see, Gerald, with that beautiful overhead shot that we had, that the pace is definitely increasing because the bunch is stringing out.
Yeah.
When it's more compact, like as Sean mentioned in the women's race, they're running together more compact. It's indicative of the pace slowing down. We see that Elliot has been dropped again. He is the lone athlete at the back there. But Bennett Saloy is still looking really, really good. And I have a feeling we're going to be speaking a lot about Bennett Saloy today. He's only, and I say only, 2:13 marathon runner at his best. But that result doesn't actually indicate the form of Bennett Saloy. He ran that last year in Kimberley at altitude. And he's here today to run a fast time.
Do you think if he carries on the way he is, we could look at a South African record? We are unfortunately missing out South African record holder Alroy Galan today with the Tour 5:36. Do you think that's going to be challenged today?
If the pace can go quicker in the second half, nothing is impossible. We're seeing the great now Eliud Kipchoge, and his state is no human is limited. So perhaps we could see something special.
Well, Eliud Kipchoge, wonderful to have the greatest of all time running the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. And we caught up with him before the race, and these were his thoughts.
I always tell my kids,
Você toma whey protein de marca duvidosa, whey protein duvidoso. Na verdade, você está tomando sabor whey protein. Porque o whey protein concentrado de verdade da Growth. Whey da Growth são 30 gramas de dose, 23 gramas de proteína, até 24 gramas. Quantos gramas tem a sua embalagem desse seu whey duvidoso, sabor whey protein? A Growth tem 1 quilo. Contra talvez os 900 gramas. Detalhe, sempre aprovado em todos os laudos de qualidade. Sempre. Então, acorda, para de comprar whey duvidoso, para de ficar no sabor whey protein e vem para a Globo, porque aqui realmente você compra da fábrica direto ao consumidor. Clica aqui e bora começar 2026 do jeito certo.
do you know why I'm running? And they say, yes. Now they are big enough to understand why I'm going to every country to run. They are big enough now to know how I'm inspiring the young people around the world, not only in my family, but also in the whole community of running, the whole country, the whole continent. And I'm really passionate. And I want to keep back to the society and the society of all runners in the whole world. I want to keep back and tell people, hey, I want everybody to live in a positive way. I want everybody to think in a positive way, to run in order to be free, to run in order to get the real education, to conserve the environment. And all of us, if we run together, we become a united world. And a united world is a peaceful world. And we'll continue to totally enjoy living, enjoy the spinning, enjoy running. We do a lot of things which can bring us together.
Well, I just got a sense of a little bit of goose flesh there, watching him, listening to him and watching him run through just past Dean Street there, and the people, the supporters recognizing, understanding who they're watching here. This opportunity probably, well, it may come again, but this is the first time to see a man of his stature and his caliber running here.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a lot of extra supporters out there today just to see him. They know he's here. He holds such a big name in the sport and in the world, and I think a lot of people are going to be flooding down to the streets just to watch him come past.
Look at the crowds. Look at this incredible scenes. They're in Newlands now, just past the swimming pool, and they're turning dead left down Letterstedt, and it is incredible, the support and the pace as well. Still good from Adrian Wilschut and Adam Litschwitz, the two pacemakers in this men's race.
And Adam just coming off that performance, 209 performance at the London Marathon. And nice to see him keeping that shape. He'll be looking at running a quick marathon towards the end of this year. And perhaps also looking at trying to qualify for the Olympic Games in 2028 that will be in the United States. And haven't announced yet what the qualifying times will be, but I'm sure they're going to be very, very quick. They seem to get quicker every year.
Yeah, if we look at the world champ standard from last year, it's definitely increased a lot. The women's qualifying time was 2:26.50 for 2024. For world champs last year was 2:23.30, which is over 3 minutes off, which is a lot in a marathon. That's a whole kilometer for some people. So yeah, I think the standards will improve a lot, but we have a lot of depth in South Africa at the moment, and I think we can look forward to seeing a lot of people qualify for the distances.
Yeah, for the men it was like 2:06.
Yeah.
So yeah, our guys need to really pull up their socks. But like we say, if Adrian was to decide to go for marathon, 2:06 will be easy meet for him. So his quality, 59, sub 50, sub 60 half marathon, sub 27. 10,000 meters. So yeah, he will run sub 2:05 very easy, I think. Yeah.
David Weir in the men's wheelchair race is absolutely hammering along, the 46-year-old from the UK. PB of 1:22, third at London, of course, 6-time Paralympic gold medalist, and a phenomenal 8 London Marathon titles. He's an absolute legend of the sport and iconic status in the United Kingdom as an athlete is David Weir. And wonderful to have him here working hard.
I think he has about a 1 minute lead, they've told us, with Zhang and Platt chasing quite hard. So I think it will be interesting to see if he can keep his lead going and if he's just going to increase it as the race goes on.
Well, his competitors, Jetse Platt, Zhang Ying, Gerard Schipper, Sho Watanabe, the previous winner of this event, Watanabe. That's where they are now. They are absolutely flying. They've gone through Rondebosch, around Rondebosch Common, and on Albert Road now, heading through Salt River Observatory, Woodstock area. And David Weir is making it count, that's for sure.
Yeah. He's definitely on the faster, flatter part at the moment. So I think they're really going to make the most of this flat section coming through. There's little turns along the stretch, which will be nice for the wheelchair athletes.
26 Ks in, and you psychologically you're heading back into the city, but there's a lot of work to be done in this city. The longest climb of the race is Company's Garden, so there's still lots of work to do. And then that killer loop that goes out Sea Point Way. So that's what lies in store for all of these athletes, of course, not just David Weir, but Devil's Peak peeking out in between these older buildings in what, as I said, was at one stage the industrial heart of Cape Town in its early years. Steam engines and the steel industry were based around here, and as Cape Town expanded, so it started to move further out, and it became a textile hotbed. But he is looking very, very impressive, is David Weir. So heading towards the foreshore area of this Cape Town Marathon, our leading athlete in the wheelchair race, and our...
Se você pudesse imaginar a melhor forma de trabalhar, como seria? A Monday.com pode tornar esse desejo realidade. Com a Monday.com, negócios de todos os tamanhos e setores podem trabalhar de forma mais eficiente. A Monday.com se adapta às necessidades de cada equipe e conecta os departamentos em uma área de trabalho unificada, permitindo que toda a empresa acompanhe os processos, visualize o trabalho e tome decisões informadas em tempo real. Como Monday Forms, que ajudam a iniciar projetos e coletar dados facilmente. E os Workdocs, perfeitos para editar e colaborar nas ideias em tempo real. Com mais de 180 mil clientes em 200 setores, a Monday.com permite que você faça o que faz de melhor e do seu jeito. Acesse Monday.com e comece seu teste grátis hoje mesmo.
Runners in the men's and women's races still just getting to the turn point, and they'll be making that turn. There is the gap then. Jetse Platt, 1 minute and 20 down. Zhang Ying, 1:47. Aaron Pike, a former winner, as is Shaw Watanabe, as they go around the Albert Road Circle, and Gerard Skipper. So 2:26, top 6. Well, David Weir's got a lot of work to do. Has he gone out too strong? Has he gone out too fast? And will he pay a price over the tough latter stages of this marathon? Only time will tell.
Yeah, I also, this is probably one of the hardest sections in terms of it's very quiet out there. I remember when I ran it back in 2024, you hit the stretch and it's so long, you just see the road ahead and it's very, very quiet on the sides. So I think if there's like any point where you have to zone in, now would be it. And if he can get to Company Gardens, which is the last hill, if he can get up that, then it's just, I think it'll be quite a fast finish home for them if they can just get to that point feeling good.
Just confirmation of the prize money in the wheelchair invitational race. $10,000 to the winner at the moment. It is David Weir who has his hands on the money for now, but it is a long way to go still. Back we go to the women's race, and they have just gone past Dean Street, the intersection there, the Newlands swimming bars on their right-hand side. And they will be making that left turn very shortly to do the little loop and then head back towards the city.
Still quite a big group there. We can see our 3 male pacemakers just in front. Edna Kiplagat now back to the front of that pack. And just as we're seeing in the men's race with Elliot showing that age is nothing but a number, Edna Kiplagat is definitely the definition of that. A double world marathon champion, and she just shows no sign of slowing down at all.
Yeah, she's going. You can also, if you look at the men's paces in the men's race, you can see that the men are tucked right behind the paces. Here, the ladies are a little bit back off, so I think the ladies are actually determining what pace they're going to go out at. They're not quite following the paces, so I think they're trying to make it a little bit more of a tactical race and not go, this is the exact time that we're going for.
Yeah, Edna was at the back of the pack a while ago. But now you see she's back, so I think she's trying to push them a bit harder to drop some of the girls and, make sure she's within that top 3 maybe.
Yeah, and also just increase the tempo a little bit and get the pace going to make it a little bit of a faster race again.
Yes, the faster there is, the more girls she can drop, So,
yeah.
So oh yeah, she's looking good.
She is.
Yeah, she's pushing now, so.
And at the age of 46, 47, she's so experienced. Like, she knows exactly how to run a marathon by now. She knows what she's doing out there. She knows, she calls the shots, and you can see Lona Salpeter's dropped off.
Is struggling, yeah. So the pace has increased. So yeah, first victim here. Yeah, unfortunately.
Quite surprising.
It's our fastest girl in the field, 2:17, and she's taking strain already. So it means Edna pushing the pace had an impact.
Yeah, that projected tempo of around 2:26 through the 10-kilometer mark. It'll be very interesting to see the next split when they get to 15. And I suspect that we're going to see a very, very fast second half, especially the likes of Dida Fikur as well. These are women who can run mid 65, 66 half marathon times. And when the going gets going in the marathon distance, we've seen it happen. Is it due to the shoes, the technology? We've seen the athletes really start finishing very, very fast. I mean, Sebastian Sauer dropping a 59:01 second half in London Marathon to become that first person to break 2 hours. But back here to the men's race, still a lot of communication going on between Adrian Wilschkut and Adam Lipschitz. And this is what makes, you asked earlier, what makes a great pacemaker is the communication. They're talking to the rest of the athletes, they're checking that the time is right, and they're telling the guys, come, we're not here to play around, we're here to run fast. Let's take full advantage of the conditions.
Yeah, we're doing this for you guys, and we want to be part of it, and we're doing our best here. Look at Adrian Wilschitz is so relaxed, so comfortable, and looking very, very comfortable as well. Bernard Biwat as well is a man who constantly keeping an eye on the pace as well.
Definitely, and we've seen him from the get-go. Bernard Biwat has been up front. I think the pace has slowed down a little bit again. Going through the 15-kilometer mark, it was a time of 45:03, and it's a projected tempo at this stage of 2:06.48. So not 2:05 yet. I say yet because we can expect to see a very quick second half, but still well under the course record.
Course record 2:08.16, and Abidisa Tola set that in 2024. That is under threat. I think just at the start line, we looked at the start and we said that's going to come under threat here because so many of these have run faster than that.
Yeah, the caliber of athletes racing today is just incredible.
I think with the pace being a bit, sluggish, the guys who are fast finishers like Jamal, Imer, I think are going to take advantage. The Ethiopian.
Yeah, there he is there, Jamal Yimmer, 26.53 over 10,000 meters and 58.33. He did that 58.33, Hendrik, before the super shoes came out to play. Yes. So he's a phenomenal athlete. I was speaking to his agent, Malcolm Anderson, yesterday, and he said that Jamal is in great shape and looking forward to a beautiful run today.
Yeah, I think with this pace being slow, it gives him advantage because the last 10Ks, the last 5Ks, he's faster than most of these guys. So, yeah, he will be fresh and then he will push. So, yeah, but Adam is looking very good. Doing a very good job.
Yeah, he's looking really, really good. Both Adrian and Adam have been tasked to take this pace to the halfway mark, 21.1 kilometers. I think that is where Adam will step off. I know Adrian was talking yesterday about going a little bit further. Perhaps he can take them to 30 kilometers, but look how relaxed he is. He's waving at the crowd, smiling, and could he perhaps, once he gets to 30 kilometers, think, I'm still feeling very, very good. I might decide to make the debut today.
Imagine. Looks like a winner. So far, yeah, he's looking just too good. He's jogging along,
What, Coach, your man is running as pacemaker for the women's race.
Yes.
He ran a superb 10K yesterday and breaking the record and winning the race, Maxime Chometon. How would you feel if he decided to run on?
Max.
Yes.
Now Max is gonna have to stop.
Yeah. I'm just talking in general terms. If your runner decides to kick on, you let him go.
In terms of Adrian, I mean, that will be a big story for us in South Africa.
Yeah.
Imagine if he was to win a major to be race, and as a pacemaker, that will be a biggie for us.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was him, I'll go for it. I just don't know what the training did, but so far he's looking very good. I mean, he ran sub 60, 59 in New York earlier this year. So yeah.
Manuela Schär here from Switzerland is leading the women's wheelchair race, and by the looks of it, we're leading it by a considerable margin.
Yeah, she was a favorite going into the race. She has won all 6 of the other majors, and I think she just wants to take another one off to her list. She was really looking forward to being here in Cape Town, and I think she's making the most of enjoying being out there.
Spent a holiday here in 2017, but now back to race, and in some pretty decent form as well, because she was 3rd in London. So was this man, David Weir. Now he turns up onto Government Avenue just as we break away. He's heading up the very, very tough, at this stage of the race, Company's Garden. And this is an historic part of Cape Town. On either side, the Houses of Parliament, the Zuko National Museum, the library. It's tree-lined, it's paved, but it's hard work as well.
Yeah, I think especially the paving under the wheels, they probably do have to work a little bit harder, and then going up a hill as well, he just has to push really, really hard.
And just some great insight there by Ernst van Dijk, saying that David Weir, who's in the picture now, is using a carbon monocog chair developed by the Saiba F1 team, and the cost of the chair is around $30,000. So, we say just how expensive some of our carbon-plated running shoes are. This is a $30,000 wheelchair. I think this is more than the cost of my actual car that I drive.
It's crazy. For perspective, first place for the marathon runners today is 35,000 rand.
Yeah.
So that would only just cover the wheelchair.
Company's Gardens, beautiful section of the route laid out in 1652. And used to be growing provisions for traders who would stop in at Table Bay, and the gardens would feed them and send them on their way. But very different now, but beautiful. The original trees, a lot of those original oak trees replaced over the centuries, but still an absolutely spectacular part of the run.
Like he has 2 minutes gap on plat, so looks like it's a done deal, David Weir. Looks like he's winning.
Now we are back with our leading men's group, and the pacemakers just a little bit ahead, but keeping that pace steady.
You can see it's spread out slightly at the front there, which makes you think that they have... Oh, you can see it looks a little bit more bunched up here, but looking from the top here, it looks like the paces are
stretched out a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Lipschitz and Wiltshire, if you're just joining us here, Pacer 3 and Pacer 1, two men who are setting the pace for the men's elite race here at the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon over the 42.2 kilometers, and a field the likes of which we haven't seen before assembled for this year's race, and they're being dragged along by Adrian Wiltshire and Adam Lipschitz to potentially a record time. The men's record stands at 2:08:16, and Adrian Wiltshire is doing a grand tour of Cape Town of his friends.
Like,
another
hi guys.
greeting. Yeah,
It's me.
Wonderful, but he's doing a good job here.
He is. They also look so relaxed and comfortable, and I think that helps the runners as well, because I think if the pacer in front of you is struggling, it makes it feel a little bit harder. So if the pacers are setting the tone that it's a good day out, it's relaxed and comfortable, I think it helps the whole group that they're pacing. So they're doing such a brilliant job with that.
Yes, looks like Beard can't wait.
Yeah, he's waiting.
Absolutely. He's just itching.
He's like, hey guys, I want to go. Yeah, looking in great shape, and he's eager to go. So.
Yeah, Bernard Biwat's in the same management company as Sebastian Sawe, your new marathon world record holder. We could be seeing the next Sebastian Sawe in the making here. He's run 2 marathons, he's got 2 victories, but if he does win today, he's going to have to do a brilliant run yet again, because the who's who of distance running, not in the country but around the world, are on his shoulders. The likes of Kamohelo Mofolo there on the left, the Lesotho athlete making his debut today, only 20 years of age, and he's operating at a 2:06 tempo. Henrik, would be great for the young Kamohelo should he run 2:06 on debut.
It's amazing. I mean, he's not scared. At 20, he's straight into the marathon. He didn't stay, in the 10K or half marathons. Straight into the big things. One big half marathon at 1 hour, and then straight into marathons. Amazing.
And he looks over his shoulder and he sees the greatest of all time behind him.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, there we also have Leonard Langata, that long Lopi style Lima in the Essex vest there. Quite a big gentleman compared to the rest of the elites up here. Very, very strong pedigreed marathon runner. And then we've said his name quite a few times already, but Bennett Saloy, the lone South African there, little glance at the watch, and he must be feeling really, really good.
He still looks comfortable as well. It's brilliant to see. It's so nice to see a South African in the mix on our soil. Like, it's good to have competitors here, but it would be a little bit more sad if we had this huge group of international men running and no South African faces to show for it. So it's so nice to see some representation of us in that field as well.
I think he did really well because,
Como vou fazer meu post agora?
Difícil estudar assim, viu? Ai, não consigo escolher.
Young runners out there in the country, they want to see this. They want to see one of them mixing it up with the big names. So Bernard is doing us a big favor. So after this race, a lot of runners will will see this pace is normal. I can also go and run international at international level. So kudos to him.
Dragging up Milner Road and heading towards Rondebosch Common now. And this group, the lead group around Rondebosch Common, 100 acres of commonage that is frequented by thousands of Cape Townians every day. The dogs are walked here. It's a loop that many will run and ride around. It's very, very famous.
And just having a look at the split times on the website, the 20-kilometer mark, if my fellow commentators are ready for this, 59:37, the projected tempo now 2:05:01.
So they really did pick up in that past 5 days.
Yeah, there's been a very big increase between 15 to 20 kilometers, spearheaded there by Adam Lipschitz and Arjun Volchkut, and you can see that pace now starting to string out.
Yeah.
The pack is slowly starting to disintegrate. Mofolo just at the back there. There we see our leaderboard at 20 kilometers, a definite increase in pace. Volchkut still smiling. I'm wondering if he's going to go the whole way today.
Amazing. He's not feeling this pace.
No, he's just loving the run around his mates here. It's so cool to see Adrian Wilshit
waving and smiling and
they're heading towards the halfway mark, and this is a cracking pace. And look at the fractures starting to happen in this lead group.
That's only going to continue to happen. Most of the hills, besides that longer one in Company Gardens, most of the hills are done. And from here, it's just about getting that turnover. That tempo is going to go, and I think they're really going to start injecting the pace here.
I think, we're all willing, Adrian, to roll the dice and say, hang on, I don't get the chance to run with these sort of guys too often. Let's do it.
Yeah, maybe today's the day.
Today's the day. It's a big ask. He's there to do a job, and he's doing it fantastically well. But
he might also be having so much fun because he knows he's stopping at halfway.
Exactly. Turn at the bottom. They do 3 sides of Rondebosch Gardens, Rondebosch Common at least. Beautiful site, and it was once a military camp, hence the name of Campground Road, which runs on that southern part, but they'll be turning very shortly.
You mentioned a little bit earlier, Sean, the possibility of a new essay record in the men's race, that time of 2:05:36 belonging to Ulrich Land. He was supposed to run the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon, but unfortunately had to pull out due to injury. Almost halfway into the 2026 Sanlam Cape Town Marathon, and Bennett Saloy is operating at 2:05 tempo.
So he's on it.
He's on it.
Yeah.
Adam Lipschitz has just
signed off.
Job done.
He's done his job, and so he said goodbye to his companion up front and to the rest of them. Really very good job done.
Yeah, very well paced by him.
And they've even increased the pace further. 62:46 is the split at the halfway mark.
They made up a lot of time.
Yeah.
They're almost back on what they were aiming for in the beginning.
Definitely. The pace has really increased. You can see Bennett Saloy in the full red there, just at the back of that pack. Arjun Volchkut still in it. He was talking yesterday about perhaps going to 30 kilometers. But if he's still smiling this much, Hendrik, I know we mentioned it a lot now. Once he gets to 30 kilometers, it's going to be very difficult to step off the road if he's still feeling as fresh as this.
Yeah, big decision. Yeah, if he's still feeling like this, I mean, nothing wrong with finishing. It's not an Olympic year. It's not a world championship year. I mean, he might as well just go for it. The chances of winning are like big. The way he's looking now.
There we see our leaderboard at the halfway mark, led there by Adam Lipschitz, who has now done his job. 62:47.
Amazing.
Bernard Biwat, the two-time marathon runner, two-time marathon winner, as he's been just behind the pacemakers from the word go. Leonard Langat, Justice Kongogo, who we have also mentioned, Adane Gebre, Maru Teferi, the Danger Man, Mulugetu Uma and Kalipis Lomwai, the Kenyan, there in 10th place, all still together as a big bunch. Mohamed Issa on the right-hand side of the picture, he is a 3-time World Marathon Major podium finisher. He's finished second in Tokyo, he's finished second in Boston, and he has finished second in the Chicago Marathon. What can he do today on the streets of Cape Town?
Com a Monday.com, negócios de todos os tamanhos e setores podem trabalhar de forma mais eficiente. A Monday.com se adapta às necessidades de cada equipe e conecta os departamentos em uma área de trabalho unificada. Acesse Monday.com e comece seu teste grátis hoje mesmo.
There you could see Elliot had dropped quite a bit off. He was sitting there in 18th place, about 1 minute and 23 seconds back. Stephen McCorker, our South African athlete, just behind him and back in 1 and 28 seconds back.
And Saloy looking as though he's really having to work hard here to try and stay with this group. The pace is high. Now, Manuela Shaw is going through Companies Gardens now in the lead of the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon Women's Wheelchair Invitational Race, and she's all on her own. She's got the gardens to herself and no doubt enjoying the opportunity to take them in and to set a cracking pace here on her way to what is looking very likely to be a win in her first attempt at the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon.
Yeah, I think she can do it. They have about 10 Ks to go, maybe 12, and she's looking well in control. Shen is still in second place, but I think Manuela Shah has it today.
Yeah, she has won all the majors, so yeah, Cape Town was just missing from her list of honors, so looks like she's making sure she gets it there.
Well, Cape Town is, of course, Africa's only and first Abbott World Marathon Major candidate race, and it is hoped in time after this event that will be confirmed. And part of that is to host a world-class wheelchair race, and these athletes are at the very top of that, and this is the men's leader, David Weir now. He's heading out on that they call it the loop of death, out towards where you go right past the finish. You look around to the right-hand side, it's there, but you know you've got a little work to do.
Yeah, it's about 7 Ks. You go out. I think that's the hardest part because you've just seen the finish line here. You feel so close, but 7 Ks is quite a while to go still. So I think once you hit that turnaround point, then it's straight home, but you have to get there first.
Well, let's hear from our leader in the men's wheelchair race, David Weir.
Yes, it's great. Obviously, being part of the majors has grown the sport massively for us. And to keep having majors added, it just grows the sport even more because it'll go to a new country, and that will hopefully boost the numbers of wheelchair athletes. So it's a great advert for wheelchair racing because it's an advert for the whole world, really. And that's what the majors have done to wheelchair racing.
Oh, and well, that's what he's done for wheelchair racing and Paralympic sport as well, David Weir, an 8-time gold medalist at Paralympics. And there he is on that loop heading towards 3 Anchor Bay. He's just turned right, in fact, at 3 Anchor Bay, and then he'll go on Beach Road. And you can see the 40-kilometer mark blinking in front of him there. Then a loop around that 40-kilometer will be coming back along Beach Road and the finish.
We are possibly looking at record races for both the men's and the women's wheelchair races as well. It looks like they're both on track to break the course records for that.
Yeah, Gert Skipper 3 years ago, 1:32.09 in the men's race. And Eden Rainbow Cooper, 1:52.58. So it's looking good for David Weir, who's clearly arrived in South Africa in peak condition and really putting that condition to good use here. Now, the men on Liesbeek Parkway, they've left Rondebosch and they've turned right, and Adrian Wilschit is still at the front of that race.
Yeah, he is. They've just gone through 23 Ks. So I guess we'll have to see when he gets to 30 how he's feeling.
They've bunched up again. I think maybe the pace went normal again. 62 and 62 minutes 47 was really nice pace.
Yeah.
205 pace. So looks like most of the guys are gunning for that time.
Yeah.
And they're all seeing a chance of winning this thing.
And yeah, Zaloy, earlier on it looked as though he was losing a lot of time. He's sort of just hanging on there.
Yeah. You have to wonder if that group has slowed down.
Exactly, yeah.
I know a lot
looks
of
like it has slowed down, yes.
Yeah, some of their tactics is to speed up a little bit, slow down a little bit, because it just breaks the rhythm of the other athletes if they're not expecting that. So it is a tactical way to try break down the group a little bit.
Biwot on the far right of your picture there is a man that we've been identifying as the form man. He's not lost a marathon that he's run yet, so he is a man who could threaten you, and he's looking so comfortable at the moment, as they pretty much all are at this stage.
Yeah,
they're looking at each other. It's like they're trying to make sure how the other one is feeling.
Is this when it starts happening? We're over halfway now. How are you feeling? What can I see in your eyes? What can I feel from your vibe?
Yeah, they're feeling each other, yes. But the main point will be just over 30 Ks.
Yeah.
And I think that's when we're going to see some big moves.
Yeah, I think at this point in the race, you're kind of checking in, seeing that you're still feeling good, but there's still a long way to go. So I must be feeling good now, but I got to get to 30, and then I'll decide how I'll attack the rest of the race.
And you see there by Tillohun just asking Adrian to come through.
Oh.
He's also looking very, very good. He wants the pace to be kept honest and moving towards 25 kilometers.
That's a good sign of a fit man. He says, let's push. He's not scared. He's telling the pacemaker, let's push this thing. Let's get that 205. So, yeah. Good indication that the man is in good shape.
Maru Teferi there in the colors of DSM in the middle of your picture. Silver medalist at the World Championships over the marathon distance. 2:04 runner at his best. And this is a pace that he's very, very used to. This course a little bit more challenging than the likes of Valencia Marathon. As we see Mo Issa, this is my danger man, Hendrik, for today. He's a very, very strong athlete. He actually was at the Boston Marathon last month, but failed to finish there as he had a little bit of flu. We spoke to his coach, Moshe, yesterday, and he said that there was a little bit of infection in his chest at Boston, but he is looking very, very good, and the training's gone well.
Yes, we managed to get some insights into what happened to Issa in Boston. Yeah, the coach is very confident that he's gonna do very well. But like I said, let's not count Jamal Imer because sub 27 minutes 10K, very fast. It's still very fast. So if this pace continues going like this, they are in for a big surprise, because the slower it goes, the more he's gonna kick.
It comes into him.
Yeah.
His wheelhouse. Yeah.
Yeah. The only way to beat him is to push the pace. Get it out of his territory. So, but Mofolo is still there for Lesotho, so it's exciting. 20 years old. I mean, he's mixing with the big boys. What a talent and what a heart. I mean, he has the heart to sit there. For me, I'm amazed. I hope the young ones are watching out there. A guy from next Lesotho next door, he's mixing it with the big boys.
Inspirational.
Yeah, inspiration, yes.
Halfway mark for the leading women, and this is a group that have not been far apart at any stage, as Edna Kiplagat leads, as she has done for many kilometers. She's almost been like a pace setter for this women's race.
Yeah. They went through halfway in 1:12:33, which is just slower than the course record, so it'll be interesting to see if they are able to pick it up in the second half. Second half is a lot faster, so they have a good chance at it.
That's Max stopping, I see. Yeah, just stopped there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, job done by Maxime there, and it looks like the pace is starting to increase a little bit. That's a 2:24 projected tempo. I definitely think that we're going to see a much quicker second half.
Yeah.
And perhaps course record still on.
Yeah, these ladies can close fast. This, for a lot of them, would just be a much easier tempo to manage. So they would have a lot of energy to pick it up in the end if they have gone out conservatively and they're feeling good.
So many options here, so many potential winners at this stage. But as we've all been saying, it's 32 Ks is when things start. The last 10 is when the race really does take shape.
Yeah.
Dida has looked very comfortable indeed, sitting behind Kip Lagat for most of the race. There's confirmation of that predicted time. 2:26.18 would be quite well outside the record time for now.
Yeah, with the record being 2:22.22, they have a lot of work to make up if they want to even come close to that at this point.
Tactical race.
Tactical race, but I think, as you have said, the second half is much easier. So with the quality of the field, these are sub 220 girls, so they can drop in a 68 minutes second half, So yeah, we can expect big things. First time still. It's not like all lost. But for now, they are happy to sit behind the legend of them all. It's 47 years old and still doing very well. Like that.
Gives you hope, Hendrik. Gives you hope. Come on.
I know. I'm thinking retired a bit earlier.
Going past Rustenburg Girls High School on the right-hand side on Campground Road, and Rondebosch Common on their left-hand side, and soon to be leaving Rondebosch Common, and it'll be an opportunity for these athletes to turn down Liesbeck Parkway and head back into town.
Still quite a compact group there of women, and it looks like it's slowing down a little bit again. We see Gisa just at the back of that pack, and still being spearheaded there by Edna Kiplagat. She's a double world champion. Still have the two male pacemakers in front there. We saw Maxime Chaumaton earlier stopping at the halfway mark, and that was all part of his training, Hendrik. A nice little long run on a Sunday morning after a course record setting 10 kilometer yesterday.
Yeah, a Sunday jog for him, yeah. He decided not to go home to do the long run, and he said, why not just do a long run with, pace the ladies. So it paid off.
Lançamento da Growth, que é o Daily Whey, só que agora em novas quantidades. Nós já temos o whey de 1 kg e agora nós temos de tamanho de 400 gramas e tem esse aqui de 800 gramas. Eu já experimentei o de chocolate, ó. Tá até aberto. Eu acho que é o meu sabor favorito, mas eu ainda vou experimentar os outros. E eu achei esse tamanho perfeito para levar em viagem. Tanto que esse aqui eu já vou guardar para levar para minha próxima.
Somos todos atletas. Somos todos growth.
Olha só o que chegou aqui pra mim. É um novo colchão da Ema, o One Laid. Com um preço que cabe no seu bolso, ele traz qualidade para o seu sono com a tecnologia Ema. São 2 camadas de espuma para trazer conforto e alívio de tensões, além da capa fixa hipoalergênica e os clássicos da Ema. 10 anos de garantia, 100 noites de teste e devolução gratuita com reembolso total, caso você ache que não é o melhor produto para você. Tudo isso por um preço imbatível. Então aproveite esse lançamento e investe no seu sono.
For sure, enjoyed it. It was just a nice Sunday job.
Yeah, how lucky to be part of the action there today as well, to step into that after winning yesterday so well, just to step back and be a part of the marathon must have been a fantastic experience for him too.
Yeah, it's big experience, the feeling, the crowds, you need to, it's him and Adrian doing a better job. They are learning to run marathons like now with pacing, big experience for them.
Well, if you're just joining us, welcome to it. It's the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon in 2026, and it has been a beautiful morning here. Still no wind at all, which is in favor of the athletes, of course. A little bit cool and overcast, but perfect conditions for our runners. All 27,000 of them. We are focusing on our elite men and women and the men's and women's wheelchair races. But of course, thousands upon thousands are now setting out and on their route around Cape Town and enjoying the beauty of the city and the opportunity to run this iconic race, which is bidding to join the Abbott World Marathon Majors as one of the big seven now, should be 8, let's hope, in a month or so's time, with Cape Town added to that list. But wonderful, wonderful scenes of the world's finest women here and men running ahead as these women heading down towards the part of town that takes them along Albert Road.
Well, there we have Limo and Mercy Kwambai. These are two athletes dropping off that lead women's group. And it just shows just how that pace is increasing up front. They were looking at around 2:25 projected tempo through the halfway mark. I think we're going to see somewhere around 2:21, 2:22 today. As you mentioned, Sean, the likes of Dira Dida, they can close really, really fast, and expect to see some fireworks in the second half, but fireworks in the wheelchair race. And this is Dave Weir, 8 times a London Marathon winner. He is going to add the Cape Town Marathon title, the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon title, to his name. He's almost there. He is almost there, and in focus is that record, because the record stands at 1:32.09. Look at him, 1:29.22 at the moment, David Weir. He's done an amazing job here. He leads Jetse Platt by just over 2 minutes, we reckon, perhaps 2.5 minutes at 40 Ks at least. Gerrit Skipper, former winner, in third place, but it is David Weir from Great Britain who's made this race his own in spectacular fashion. He's on Helen Suzman Boulevard now, closing in on the finish of the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon, and he has brought fine form here. An 8-time London Marathon wheelchair winner, and of course third at this year's race. And can he dig deep? He's got just 2 minutes remaining now. Can he finish it off? He's turning into the final. That looks like he's going to do that. He knows he must be very close. He's putting a huge effort in here. David Weir driving for the line of the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. The wheelchair race is onto the blue carpet, and it is going to be a record-winning time for David Weir as he takes victory at the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. 1 hour, 30 minutes and just under 30 seconds. A phenomenal performance. Well done to David Weir of Great Britain, winner of the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon wheelchair race.
That was a fantastic race by him today.
Top performance by a man who came here with a job to do and totally focused on that job. Sat in the pack early on, but I think quite early, once they'd left the foreshore, he got it to the front and made it his own. 1 hour, 30 minutes and 20 seconds, a new record time by just under 2 minutes.
Well, back to the leading men. Arjan Vulskut there on the left, slowly but surely increasing pace a little bit. We see at the back of the picture the 20-year-old debut from Lesotho, Kamohelo Mofolo, now dropping off that pace. We'll get that 25-kilometer split just to show what type of pace they are on. But Arjan Vulskut looking very, very good, Hendrik. We've been saying it all morning. Could he be making a break now?
He's definitely enjoying this job of pacing for now. And looks like he's in great shape for marathon. I mean, he's more than halfway. He's still smiling. He's still doing his thing. Amazing.
He's got 3 Ks left to go to the 30K mark, which is a mark he suggested that he may pull the plug. He's either saying, look, I'm going to get to that 30K, stick at my pace, do what I have to do, or he's saying, if I keep going like this, I'm going to put them, and I go beyond 30, and they think I'm stopping at 30. It might set the cat among the pigeons behind him.
She was making a little bit of a break now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see that he's sticking to the pace that he was told to run. And the men now, as we've seen in the ladies' race, becoming a tactical affair. They bunched up, they at the back. But back to our wheelchair athletes, and this is going to be a scintillating finish. We see here the second place athlete coming through, but for that final podium spot, that included 2 former Sanlam Cape Town Marathon wheelchair winners. I think we're in for a thrilling finish.
We are indeed. As this will be our second athlete, I believe, unless Jetse Platt has come in already, but I think this is going to be the second athlete making his way into the finish. It is Jetse Platt, indeed, who is coming into the finish in his first marathon here in Cape Town, and he's onto the blue carpet, a wave. He's a superstar of Paralympic sport, para-tri and hand cycling, and now turning his attention to marathon, and he's taken second place behind David Ware in front of some real marathon specialists, a really top-class performance. Meanwhile, Adrian Wilschert is continuing to set his own pace here, the pace that he's been designated to set, and the contenders behind saying, you go and do your thing. We are now settling into a little tactical battle here.
Yeah, it's definitely becoming more of a tactical race back there in the group.
It's amazing because you can see the guys are refusing to go with him. It's like, no, let him go. We want to race. But imagine if he was to run away.
And you can even see how much they are slowing down. That Kamohela Mofolo, the youngster from Lesotho, is actually coming back to that bunch now.
Here we see our men's podium and the rest of the finishers coming in. I know David Weir said that he didn't like to race in a group, and if he was going to race today, he was really going to take it out hard, and he did that, and I think he did some damage to the other athletes today, setting a course record as well.
So, Jetse Platt.
Tudo é possível na Monday. Ela é uma ferramenta flexível e modular. Após usar a Monday.com, hoje eu consigo ter uma visão rica em tempo real e eu não preciso gastar energia fazendo esses dados, cruzando esses dados, porque a própria ferramenta já está customizada para nos trazer essas informações. Ela é visual, ela é dinâmica e eu mesmo consigo criar algumas automações. Então, se existe uma necessidade, eu sei que a Monday vai me ajudar de alguma forma. Não existe não dentro da ferramenta.
Skipper there, as well as Zhang Ying and Sho Watanabe, all having completed the wheelchair race. And record time for David Weir, not the second place finisher though. Back with our men here.
And just a reminder that the pacemakers in the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon Cape Town Marathon are allowed to win the event. They are allowed to continue. We've got one lone pacemaker left in the men's race, Arjun Vilchkut, who's around 25 meters ahead. There he is. It's actually grown now. Vilchkut
he looks good.
He's looking very, very good.
Yeah.
He did mention yesterday that he was going to go around to 30 kilometers. I'm really going to be excited, which is soon, yeah. If he can get to 30 kilometers and take a step over that 30-kilometer distance mark, I think we're in for Arjun Vilchkut is looking to win.
What effect will that have on the pack behind him if he then pushes on? 31, 32, what are they going to be up to?
If they can see him going, they're probably going to have a few people break to try catch him. And that group will split very quickly, I think, then when that happens.
But for now, they are very undecided. You can see they are trying to get everybody to push, but some are saying no. So they are not cooperating with each other. They don't want to run fast. They don't. Yeah. Some of the guys are tired of leading for the other guys, so they are allowing the pacemaker to run away. Which, I mean, if he has to decide to say, I'm going to the finish, it will be a big problem for them.
If he just takes a look to the left there, he'll see $35,000 US and think, hang on, I might hang on here.
Yeah, it's good motivation if you're feeling good and you're going for it, and if you've made a split from the group already.
Yeah, this is very interesting. So in the next short while, we will get an indication as to the intentions of Adrian Wilschkit. And this group are starting to also wonder, is he setting the pace or is he trying to set a record here?
And as Kewan said, Adrian is in fantastic shape at the moment. He won New York half marathon. He's run a few sub-60s. He's good to go for it. So it'll be amazing to see if he does suddenly run his debut marathon today.
And all these athletes were at the technical athletes meeting yesterday, where Clark Gardner did mention that the pacemakers are, if they're wanting to go through to the finish, are allowed to finish the race. The surprising thing with this, as we see Justice Kangogo now going to the forefront, trying to string this pace along, is that Biwott never went with Adrian Wilschkit. Perhaps he could be feeling the strain of the marathon right now.
Yeah, it's amazing because he has been sitting on the pacemakers up to the halfway. But now he has decided to hang back, maybe to take a breather. And then what happens? The rest of the guys don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
They want somebody to do the work for them. So...
You can say they were briefed that the pacemaker can finish. I wonder if they've actually realized that he is making a break for it.
Yeah.
And some of them would have run against Adrian Wilschkit on the international road running scene. And I really hope for their sake, like we have the knowledge of the athletes, they know just who Adrian Wilschkit is, because this is a man who earlier this year won that New York half marathon. As we see the leaderboard at 25 kilometers in the women's race, Dera Dida now to the front, 1:25.55. Still a little bit slow on the women's race compared to the men, but I think we're going to start to see things hotting up, down now to a projected just under 2:25 tempo.
The runners, the second and fourth runners there are pacemakers in that race, so they are not part of the women's race, and they will drop off at some stage.
Yes, you can see these ladies, Limo, they have definitely taken a little bit of strain with the increase in pace. They're struggling a little bit more than these ladies, and I think the tempo is only going to increase from here. I think they'll probably try get as close to the record as they can get.
Well, now Mekasha going through to the front herself, a 2:20 performer at her best, and the who's who of marathon running around the world are out here in front. And that pace starting to increase. You can see the pack is slowly starting to disintegrate. Etna Kiplagat still there. And a remarkable performance by the eldest stateswoman of marathon distance running. As we mentioned, she's a double world champion. She's won Tokyo Marathon before. And running what will be, hopefully, the next World Marathon Major, Cape Town. Could she add a victory here today?
Absolutely. She's... won 3 of them, and absolute superstar and an inspiration at the age of 46 to be competing at this level. Aganesh Mekasha, the 34-year-old from Ethiopia, a couple of big wins to her name, Toronto and Osaka, and a PB of 2:20 and looking very, very comfortable. This is turning out to be a fascinating tactical battle. Faster second half, could see that time, that record time of 2:22.22 from Glenrose Cabo come down, but that's still a way to go.
Someone who we haven't mentioned much of at this stage, next to Ayunu there is Leah Cheruto, and she herself has a 2:24.33 marathon PB from Kosat, and operating exactly at that tempo right now. So she'll still be quite comfortable with this pace. We do expect after the 30-kilometer mark for things to really get quicker, but there is your leaderboard at 30 kilometers. Adrian Wilschkit, 1:29.11. That is low 2:05 marathon pace. Now with a gap of 21 seconds to Bernard Biwott, Maru Teferi, who we've spoken much of in this broadcast, in the third spot, but still all of those men together. The question now, when we get back to the men's race, if Adrian Wilschkit is still there.
Yes. Yeah, is he up there? Well, it's difficult. We've got that bunch, the big bunch of pre-race favourites, and then Adrian Wilschkit, the pacemaker, running quite far ahead. So they're turning into Adderley Street now, the men in the city centre. Beautiful part of historic Cape Town. And then they get to the top of this, and it'll be onto Government Avenue and into the Company's Gardens, and that drag up Company's Gardens. There is that bunch. Let's start.
Não, que eu vou postar agora.
There's starting to stretch out there. Definitely, there's
a big
movement
break
at the front.
there.
There's a big break up front there.
Yeah, there's a break there, and if Volchkit is still in front, if we can get a higher picture there, that means that is the reason why there's a break. If Volchkit is still in front, they are now chasing him.
Yeah.
Into Company Gardens they go, and there's movement in this men's race at the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon as they head through this historic part. St. George's Cathedral on the right-hand side, the Houses of Parliament on the left-hand side, and the world's finest marathon runners right up the middle in this beautiful avenue. And Biwat goes on the attack.
It's Bernard Biwat, the man who's been very aggressive from the start. And this is quite a big break. After 30 kilometers, we did say we're going to start to see the pace really increase after 30K. He's taken Langat there, Leonard Langat in the third position. Tillahun now, who we saw earlier just after the halfway mark, asking Adrian Volchkit, let's keep the pace honest, let's keep it going. He is now struggling. And the fireworks are happening on the streets of Cape Town. The Sanlam Cape Town Marathon 2026 is starting to hot up in the men's race.
Yeah, Biwat is asking questions. Let's see if they can answer those questions. He's pushing, and then I think the others are in trouble.
Manuela Schar is closing in on the finish in the women's wheelchair race. And she is going to obliterate the record set by Eden Rainbow Cooper in 2023, 1:52.58. But the Swiss star came here as the race favorite, and from the very outset, she made it clear that she would be the one to beat. She's onto the blue carpet now. Rolling into the finish is the winner of the women's wheelchair race, shattering the record, an unbelievable time, 1:43.20. Manuela Schar from Switzerland, her first race here in Cape Town, and she wins it in record time. Quite phenomenal performance, and she has done so with a broad smile on her face. A second visit to Cape Town, this time as a competitive athlete, and she's made it a record-breaking winning time as well.
So fantastic. Almost 9 minutes off the record.
Yes. Quite phenomenal.
Well, it's been a weekend full of records. We saw both course records yesterday being obliterated in the 10-kilometer peace run. We've seen both records being broken now in the wheelchair event. Now to your leading men who are currently on course to destroy the course record. Perhaps we can see it in the women's if they can really increase the pace in the last 10 kilometers. But here we have Lomwai together with Mohamed Issa. These are your chasing men. They are trying to close down that gap to Biwat. We still don't know if Adrian Volchkit is out there on the road, but if he is, this is why. The pace is really, really increasing. There was a big break just before 30 kilometers, and the pace now hotting up in the 2026 Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. Fireworks are now happening.
You can see those men are working hard.
Yeah, no, it's serious work as they've turned away from the Company's Gardens, Mount Nelson Hotel just on the left-hand side, and they'll drop down Long Street, long kilometer descent down through the nightlife centre of Cape Town, but it will be fairly quiet now in terms of the nightlife, but it'll be very noisy. There's going to be plenty of support and action for these runners. Langat setting the pace now on the front.
And this is a big increase in pace. Maru Teferi, one of the fastest men in the field, 2:04.44 Israeli national record, and there he is. Adrian Volchkit is in front. Could we be seeing
now we
magic
know why those
happening?
Chasing men are hitting it so hard, and he has the car behind him as well. So you have to wonder how much they can actually see of him. Can they see him in front of the car? Oh, they probably can because they're right there.
They can see.
The gap's starting to close down a little bit, but Adrian Volchkit, could he be making debut? Could this be the story of the 2026 Sanlam Cape Town Marathon? I have goosebumps.
This tempo
looking
is
very good.
If he carries on this tempo, South African record as well as a course record.
Wow.
It would be phenomenal to have a South African record on home soil. That would mean both our marathon records are set here in Cape Town.
The man he looks behind and he knows they're coming. He knows the cream of the crop, and they are closing in now because they've felt the heat that he's laid down here, and they've reacted to his decision to push on. He was the pacemaker, but as we've been saying, the pacemaker's allowed to finish the race, so he's clearly feeling good. Adam Lipschitz dropped out of the halfway mark, but this man is putting it to these top marathon races to the sword here, putting him under pressure.
And that friendly smile we saw from him as a pacemaker has turned into a game face. He's on it.
Yeah, the guys are struggling to catch up. You can see on their faces that they don't know what to do. They are not sure if the pacemaker is going for it but it looks like he's feeling good.
Yeah.
He looks like he wants to finish now. I mean, he's past 30 Ks. I mean, what now?
Tem uma ideia de app web que vale milhões? Com a Hosting Your Horizons, ela vira realidade. É só descrever sua ideia para Hosting Your Horizons e a primeira versão do seu app já fica pronta. Atualize e faça alterações em tempo real, conversando com a IA. Um clique e pronto! Seu app já está online para todos verem. Conecte seu domínio na hora, sem sair da plataforma, sem programação, sem dificuldade. Com a Hosting Your Horizons, você cria seu app, hospeda, tem e-mail e muito mais. Vem para hostinger.com.br e faça sua ideia acontecer.
Well, he has to finish now in a way, doesn't he? You know, he's in the deep end now. He's committed, he didn't bail at the 30K mark, and now he's gone all in. He's got to keep it going. But a phenomenal performance by a man who has yet to run a marathon.
Yeah.
So he is, as we know, a world-class athlete, and he's proven it with shattering South African records left, right, and centre. And he's did that phenomenal run at the Olympics.
Yeah.
So over the 10,000. So it's a man who has the pedigree.
He's coming to the race as a bit of a wild card almost, because coming in as a pace setter, but he knows he can do it.
And this will give him such a boost running down Long Street there. The noise, the support.
The supporters know him. They know he's South African. They're going to shout even louder for him.
And spare a thought for Adrian's brother Nadil, who was actually supposed to be in the elite field today as well after running his 208 marathon debut in December. Unfortunately picking up a little bit of a stress reaction, and he's not out in action today, but I can guarantee you he's out on the route, and if anything is to go by, he will be spurring on his brother Adrian.
He's actually looking better than his competitors.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Just under 10 kilometers to go at the bottom of Long Street. And Adrian Wilschit, the pacemaker, the wild card in this field now that he's continued to run on, leads this elite field of world-class athletes, 204s and 205s behind him. And he is the man in charge just at the moment. He's put the pressure on these men like they wouldn't have expected it. And it's turned this race on its head.
Oh, it's made it very exciting.
The cheering will keep him going, inspire him. Well, what a performance.
Well, that chase bunch slowly but surely starting to close that gap. It is on a little bit of a downhill section, but that pack of more than 15 men has totally been obliterated given the pace that Adrian Wilschit set just before the 30-kilometer mark. And I really hope that Adrian can stay in this race. It would be a phenomenal story of the 2026 Sanlam Cape Town Marathon should Adrian go on to win it, and on debut.
I mean, it fits the narrative of what has been a seismic year in marathon running anyway. That a man... And who's to say that Sebastian Sawe's performance in London isn't the sort of catalyst to spark this type of performance? Well, if he can run and Kajelski can run sub 2 hours, why not? Let's do these. Let's roll the dice and go for it.
Yeah, it's that whole belief we were talking about yesterday. If once you believe, it makes it like a little bit easier to break those barriers.
Yeah.
How comfortable does he look?
he's looking better than the competitors themselves. So I'm just wondering if he's. I mean, we are all wondering if he wants to take it or if he's just playing. I mean, I hope he's not playing with the guys. I hope he's going for a win.
Yeah.
Because he will win it if he takes that decision.
I think there's a reason why Adrian Volschkut asked at the technical meeting, if I want to go a little bit further, are we allowed to finish?
Oh, wow.
So
I
it
think
was
he's
his
come here
question.
with the plan.
Okay. So this isn't a spur of the moment decision. He had this on the back burner. Very, very good. He's a canny operator, is Adrian Volschkut, that's for sure.
I mean, we have no idea whether he did the long runs for the race. He has been very quiet. He didn't say anything. Yeah, it's a closed book when it comes to marathon. But the way he's running, he looks like a seasonal marathon. Ready. Yeah, he looks like an experienced marathoner. You know, no fear.
The gap is closing, though. There's no question the gap is closing. As the runners in the athletes in the wheelchair race closing in on the finish. Manuel Escobar is in 1:43.23, taking nearly 9 minutes off the previous record. A quite phenomenal performance. And it looks like Chen is going to be coming into the finish shortly to take second place. Yeah, she comes in towards the finish, and well, if she probably won't quite get under the old mark as well. At 1:52.58, Eden Rainbow Cooper's winning time, but another phenomenal performance with already in Manuela showing that she was the class act in this race, heading the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon to her 6 other wins in the Abbott World Marathon Majors. Into the finish precinct at the Cape Town Stadium goes Jen. She was a winner at Shanghai, and she will come in. She may well dip under the 1:52. She will just get in under the old mark as well, 1:52.26, and that beats the previous mark as well. So another record-breaking performance to take second place. Shen Jiachung. As now we're back with our men's race.
And Adrian is
back
now
in the group, isn't he?
Yeah, Adrian is in the middle of the pack, and I think the fact that he's now sitting in the middle of the pack, he's here to finish.
Yeah.
He's given his all to the 30-kilometer mark, and now the real race is happening. He's becoming tactical, and I don't see him stopping now, Hendrik. The fact that he's in the middle of that pack, just keying off them, I think he's in the race proper.
Yeah.
And they didn't expect him to finish. So
he's the joker, isn't he?
Yeah, they don't know what to do. I mean, he is a closed book. He hasn't run any marathon. But he's looking better than all of them. So far, so good. It's exciting for me to see a local guy, mixing it up with the big boys and, scaring them a bit.
It's thrilling. I mean, the crowds along the barriers there will be absolutely enthralled, intrigued as we are as to how this is going to unfold, because the joker in the pack there sits. You can see him from on top here in that white vest, tucked in the middle there, and the rest are looking around thinking, oh, how are we going to handle this?
Yeah.
What's he going to do? They'll duck underneath the roundabout and then head out on Helen Suzman Boulevard. This is where they come within meters of the finish line at the Cape Town Stadium, and then head out now underneath. Where do they go? So how is this going to impact the approach from the other athletes? 6 of them, and a 7th in Adrian Volschkut.
Single files. So
it's definitely a faster pace.
It means the pace is going up again. They're running in single files.
And I think that's Bernard Biwat who is again to the front. Arjun Volschkut now starting to drop off. Oh, that's actually Lomwai. This is Calipus Lomwai. He only has a 2:13 marathon best, but he's 59:26 at the Roma Ostia half marathon last year. He is running the race of his life. Volschkut hoping that he can close that gap a little bit now. The interesting thing will be, Volschkut has only taken bottles to 30 kilometers as a pacer. Will he still have any of his personal bottles on these tables now? Because he's gone past that distance that he was supposed to. There is the split, 1:44.07. It is Calipus Lomwai in front with Leonard Lagat. The man who I said is my favorite for the race, Mohamed Essa, in the colors of DSM. He's a 3 times World Marathon Major podium finish, second in all of them. Can he go one better today in Cape Town? He is looking very, very good.
He's in the red with the white flash across the chest. And this race is now ignited. It's wide awake. If you are joining us now, you're joining us at a fascinating moment in this Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. 7 kilometers to go. And the predicted finishing time at 35 is inside that record time.
2:05.11 is the projected time. Arjun Volschkut just behind Bernard Biwat there in the background. If he can try and stick to this pace, not only is he going to have a fantastic, unexpected debut marathon, given that he was a pacer, but he is on course as well for a new South African record. That would be the story of the 2026 Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. And I'm sure Ulrich Gelant watching at home will be happy for Volschkut as well, but also a bit nervous if his record gets taken.
Definitely, especially having supposed to have been racing today and he's out, unfortunately, due to injury. So we do miss him in this race, but I think he's sitting there going, oh, I wonder if my record is under threat today.
I think he knows it is, but it's fantastic to see the way Arjun Volschkut has gone about this race and say, well, here's a chance. I'm going to see what I can do here against the best on the African continent, and this group is thinning out rapidly.
Yeah, we're down to 5 over there.
Você é o melhor chefe que essa empresa já teve. Como eu cheguei até aqui? Monday.com. Vamos direto ao ponto. A gente entregava 6 grandes projetos por trimestre. Nada mal, a liderança estava contente e o processo estava ok, mas a gente queria mais. Como eu consegui? Uma palavra: crescimento. 2 palavras: crescimento sustentável com a Monday.com. Pera.
Up through Companies Gardens is our group of leading women in the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. Edna Kiplagat has been setting the pace for much of the first half of the race, sitting at the back of this group though, but still in there. And Fikir is looking incredibly comfortable at the front of this.
And I think just some word from the road from Clark Gardiner is that Arjun Volschkut has now stepped off the course. So Ulrich, if you are watching at home, your record is safe for another day.
Well, he gave us plenty of entertainment and interest and did a grand job in setting the pace. Now it's up to the rest to finish the job for this Sanlam Cape Town Marathon.
I have to say he got a lot of experience from this one, and now we're all looking forward to his real debut, where he's going to, prepare for it, and the sky is the limit for him. I think he's going to run some fantastic times. He's a natural marathon.
Time will tell and time will come, I'm sure. He's perhaps got other fish to fry for the time being, but
yes.
It'll come.
It will come.
Yeah.
We see our ladies looking very comfortable going up through Company Gardens. This is the last little bit of hill that they have to get through. So
how tough is it? I mean, what?
I found it pretty tough. It's also, you go from the tar to like slightly different underground, and it's not bad paving. It's quite comfortable to run on, but it does affect you slightly. You're going up and you want to be over with the hills. I think it's also about 500 meters long, which is quite long for a hill.
Edna Kiplagat still holding there at the back of that group. Hendrik, your 2 male pacemakers still there. And the pace definitely increasing, but still at this stage very tactical, deep into the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon.
A turn off and under now clearing skies and sunshine here in Cape Town. What a sight it is as these elite women, led by the pacemakers as well, who've kept going here. the men paceway Dagnu and Letta. They've kept it at a very good pace, and they are leading these women towards Long Street.
Yeah, it's advantage for most of the Ethiopian girls because they brought in their own pacemakers, and so it's nice to run with somebody you know. So that's a good strategy to bring your own pacemaker, and then the chances of winning are increased.
Well, the 30-kilometer leaderboard led by Leah Cheruto, a 2:24 performer at her best, 1:43.04. There she is on the left-hand side with the red arm sleeves. Dera Dida, my favorite for a victory today, the wife of 2024 Paris Olympic marathon champion Tamara Toila. She herself is at 2:18 at her best, and she's looking very, very good there. But still 8 women in it after 30 kilometers. This is very, very exciting.
It is very exciting. We're probably going to see something similar to the men's, where they're going to drop down now a little bit, and as they get past the finish towards that loop of death, it will probably be an injective pace, and we're probably going to see the groups put slightly. So it'll be interesting to see who goes for the break, who's actually going to make the move.
Yeah, they're looking very good. I mean, with an experienced coach, Olympic champion as a husband, she will have more in her, more information on how to win it. I mean, she has an advantage on the girls.
Yeah.
Well, the pace definitely increasing here in the 2026 edition of the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon, led by Kalapis Lomwai, asking Mohamed Issa to please increase the pace there. And they are together with a former champion Adane, and it's around about 4 men in front now. Bernard Biwat, who was looking very, very good for the first 30 kilometers, now struggling. I don't think he's going to keep that 100% winning record in his young marathon career so far. 2 wins from 2 starts. It's not going to happen today in Cape Town, but we are set for a thrilling finish in the men's race.
Here we see Asefo Umna. He has a PB of 2:05.33. He also seems to be going quite well, but just off the back of that main group.
Yeah, it's hanging on. Yeah, I think the winners will have to definitely come from this. Once they drop you after 35, there's no coming back.
No.
There's no coming back.
So quartet of contenders now through Sea Point, heading towards Sea Point on Beach Road, and Lomwai, Langat, Essa in this, and Adani. And they had to endure an interesting phase on Long Street when the threat of a pacemaker taking it to the finish set the cat amongst the pigeons. That's now gone because Adrian Wilshire has pulled out, and now it's this quartet plus one. You feel they're going to fight it out over the remaining kilometers.
I'm really excited to see how Kalipis Lomwai does, because he's an athlete. I mentioned that 2:13 PB of his. So all the way back in 2018, he was out for a number of years due to repetitive injuries. He came back last year, ran that 59:25 half marathon personal best in Rome, and here he is in his next marathon, and he is going to obliterate that marathon time. There we can see there on the side of the road, 38 kilometers, the men going through there, just under 1 hour 53 minutes. Jamal Yimmer, the 58:33 half marathon runner, there in 5th place, just behind. He's going to try his hardest, Hendrik, to try and close that gap, but it's going to be very difficult now. These men in front, especially Mohamed Issa, a little glance at the watch there, they still have another gear in the tank there.
Yeah, you can see Lomwai is not happy being used as a pacemaker now. The other guys are making sure he works for them, and then they're going to kick.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be a pacemaker, but he also wants to take it out fast enough. He wants to try and get away if he can.
Yes, I think the best thing for him is just to push and focus and push. Otherwise, the experienced guys are sitting on him, and then they're going to get him.
Yeah.
Adani at 2:05.33 in Osaka this year. The fastest in the calendar year this year. He's on the right-hand side there. And the pain is starting to itch on the face of him here. It is the deep end of the race. Yep, it's telling.
Oh, we've seen course records being set yesterday in the 10-kilometer peace run. Today in the wheelchair event, we saw more course records in both the men's and ladies wheelchair race.
difícil estudar assim, viu?
Capeta hipotenusa, a base do meu plano. Precisão cirúrgica, eu nunca me engano.
And we are currently seeing the leading men here in the 2026 Sanlam Cape Town Marathon on course to obliterate the course record. There are still 4 athletes in it, with the former winner Adane there as well. Leonard Langat on the far left, a very, very strong athlete. But Mohamed Issa on the right there, looking very, very relaxed. It's almost like he's got another gear. And I think when they get to the 40-kilometer mark, that's where the winning move is going to be made.
Yeah, I think so. 2Ks to go is short enough. So you see a few marathons nowadays where they come down to that finish sprint, and I can't think of anything worse than having to sprint after running 42Ks. So I'm sure all these guys are just trying to get out of that position.
Lomwa is the dark horse there. 213, that was long ago. He's a kind of a new runner, after all those injuries. He's looking very good. He's the dark horse.
Well, they make the turn now, these 4 runners, and now onto Beach Road, the ocean on their left-hand side now, and a huge phalanx of supporters lining the road. Take on the drink. And why? Essa, Adane, and Langat, quartet contending.
2 Kenyans, 2 Ethiopians.
Well, that was a cup of Red Bull that you took from the Red Bull tent there. So if Lomwa is your winner today,
got some wings.
39 kilometers there, just under 156. So we're still operating at a 2:05 projected time here. And not only are we going to have a new course record, we perhaps are going to have 5 or 6 men under that previous 2:08.
Yeah.
Is it going to be Leonard Langat? Will it be former winner Adane? Will it be Lomwai? Or will it be Mo Issa on the far right? We are within the final 2 and a bit kilometers now in the 2026 Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. Who is it going to be? Wow, this is exciting stuff.
It is exciting.
Well, this is what was the intention of bringing a field of this quality to the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon this year. The best ever assembled for the event, and they are delivering great drama, great excitement, and enthralling racing.
Langat is it's like he's struggling to hold on. He doesn't.
Little undulations, just a little bit of a rise.
Enough to break your stride.
Enough, exactly. And having to dig deep to pull back in and get back into the group.
Yeah.
Terrific temper. Essa looking very comfortable. He's the man in the red and white. And he's the man, Kuhn. Well, when we chatted yesterday, unequivocally, he was your favorite.
Yeah, Mohamed Issa for me is the big danger man here, but he's got 3 men with him. Can he hold on for that win? It will be really good considering the fact that he had to drop out of last month's Boston Marathon due to that chest infection. But his coach, Mersha, did not want to let that training go to waste. And Mohamed Issa could be stepping on to that top step today at the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon.
Yeah, second place he's had at Tokyo and Boston and Chicago before, so this is an opportunity to put his name in lights here in Cape Town. Dani takes a drink. They all snatch one.
And as we saw at the London Marathon between Sebastian Sawe and Yomif Kajalcha, Sawe was the one who took the drink. Kajalcha didn't take the drink. I saw some of these guys not taking that drink. I wonder if any of them were thinking of that London Marathon. Essa was one of them that didn't.
Yes, he was one of them. He didn't,
Yeah, but he's still looking very, very good. I think right now, the 2 Ethiopians versus the 2 Kenyans, we've seen this multiple times in World Marathon Majors and marathons around the world. The East African dominance between the 2 nations coming down to that sprint finish. even if I was Kenyan, I would never want to be on a sprint finish with an Ethiopian athlete because they are known for those killer kicks at the end.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm saying if Lomwai wants to win, he better start working harder and harder now.
And there is
start pushing harder and harder.
There is the 40-kilometer mark, and all 4 athletes taking a drink from that personal elite station. So could this be the break? We did say at 40 kilometers we think it's going to be, and Mohamed Essa looks like he's starting to break.
He's putting the pressure on now, Mohamed Essa. His head goes down, he looks across, he's reacting. Lomwai and Adani. Langat is the man who's having to make up ground behind him.
Langat is I think it's game over for Langat.
Just fallen off that podium.
At 40K. Losing the podium finish. Oh, wow.
Phenomenal pace as Langat now. He sees the race disappearing up Beach Road from him. The big stadium will be ahead of him. He can see that, but in front of that will be these 3 runners he's desperate to try and regain contact with, but it is not likely. Essa, a little surge from him that snapped the elastic to Langat. Lomwai is still there, and Adani as well.
Lomwai is still full of running, you can see. He looks like it's an unknown quantity. I mean, so unknown quality, sorry. I mean, he can take this thing the way it's looking.
Adani looking comfortable as well, sitting in behind Essa, letting Essa do the work.
And Adani in great form. This is a second marathon of the year already, taking victory in Osaka, 2:05:37. And can he go one better here in the streets, on the streets of Cape Town? He's looking at Mo Essa. Essa just looking to me still very, very comfortable there. I think this is going to be between Essa and Adani.
Hunling Adani from Ethiopia and Mohamed Essa from Ethiopia, and the one Kenyan, Lomwai, sitting now having to, the pace has gone up a little here. Essa and Adani.
Oh, Lomwai is looking at the back. It's not a good sign. Not a good sign. Yeah. Like he wants to give up now. Checking on his watch.
Adani in his last 6 marathons has not run slower than 2:07:59. This is a world-class marathon runner, and he is hanging on to the heels of Mohamed Essa just in front of him. Lomwai coming back now. I don't think we've seen the final bit of Lomwai, but Essa is still, to me, looking the best of these 3. He still has another gear, and he's not yet used it.
Lomwai showing great tenacity to hang on to the pace here and to make himself a factor in this race. And look at him now, just ranging up alongside and saying, I'm still here, you won't get rid of me that easily. The 2 Ethiopians are now digging deep, Essa and Adani. The crowd watching this drama unfold at the 2026 Sanlam Cape Town Marathon, the best in the business. Essa puts the pressure on now and starts surging. Lomwai, that could be done for him, and Essa is on his way now with Adani on his heels.
These men are flying.
Yeah, it looks like he's winding it. That's where experience is counting. Lomwai doesn't have marathon experience, so the best he could have done was just to lead until he can't lead anymore. But he's done now.
Well, I said it yesterday, Essa, the fastest man in the field with that 2:04:39, is the one to beat. He is currently in that pole position, but unfortunately for him, Adani is just behind him. Also in his second marathon of the year, this is Leonard Langat in 4th place. We are in for a scintillating finish to the 2026 Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. The question is not can they run a new course record? The course record is going to be obliterated. The question now, will it be Issa or will it be Adane who take this victory?
Adane matching and watching the back of his fellow Ethiopian every step of the way and staying with him. The Kenyans now, their challenge seems to be done. As Lomwai and Langat fade into the distance, and it is the two Ethiopians. They've gone past that turn-off to Muli Point, and now the finish line is in sight. He looks at his watch. Don't worry about that. The record will go.
Just run.
Just run. And Adane is not going to let him go either. Hanging on for all he can. There is the fellow Ethiopians' record time of 2:08:16, and well, they are well inside that right now. Excellent running. Essa came into this race as the man most feared at 2:04:39, with respect to Eliud Kipchoge, whose 2:01:09 happened in 2022, but certainly of the current threat, it was Mohamed Essa, and he's showing it brilliantly here on Helen Suzman Boulevard. Now it's quiet there. There's not too many people for them there.
Yeah, you'd expect a few more people out there, but I think there's a lot of cheer zones. Oh, here they are, all on the corner. And that's a perfect spot for them to be. Those men are going to sprint from there.
And a small gap there opening up now. I think this is the winning move by Issa.
Yeah, it's broken him, yeah.
Mohamed Essa now starts winding it up with just a couple of 100 meters remaining. Behind him is his fellow countryman, Yuhunling Adane from Ethiopia. They look over their shoulders. Adane is trying to respond, trying to dig deep, but Essa is all smooth and efficient moving here. The weight of expectation he had coming into the race as the pre-race favorite, he shouldered that responsibility, bided his time, and incredible strength, great character and confidence. He is going to storm to victory at the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon, and he will do so in record-breaking time. Mohamed Essa of Ethiopia wins the Cape Town Marathon in 2026 in record-breaking time. A sensational win. The man coming in second, Adane, breaks the record as well, and no doubt third place will do so as well, as Lomwai will take third place. But Essa, your champion in 2026.
A new course record, the fastest marathon ever run on the African continent. Mohamed Essa, sub 2:05. The course record totally obliterated. 3 men now under 2:05:30. A brilliant performance there by Lomwai, totally obliterating his 2:13 personal best, with Langat now in fourth, also a sub 2:06 clocking. He has to be happy with that performance.
What a performance by all of them. I mean, it's phenomenal that time. They ran the second half incredibly well. Imo comes in fifth place.
They would have closed really fast in that second half. They brought that tempo up a lot, and they really closed in to get a sub 2:05 after the first half. I think it just shows you how different the first and second half was of the race. These men closed phenomenally well.
No wonder he's happy. He's absolutely obliterated his PB.
And also after years of injury and out of the sport, it's really, really good to see Lomwai there back in action. And I think we are still going to see and hear a lot from him in future, especially at the marathon distance, as Uma now comes through for a 2:06:30 clocking. The men really flying through here, and I think we're going to see some big surprises in the rest of the top 10. The likes of Eliud Kipchoge, Stephen Mokoka, Kamohelo Mofolo, and then not forgetting Bennett Saloy, who we saw much of in the first half. I wonder where he is now.
Yeah, we wonder. But Cape Town Marathon course has shown us that it's a fast course.
It is.
It's sub 2:05. So, yeah, the future looks very bright for our young runners here. They need to start training to come and be part of this event and get their personal best.
And
Com a Monday.com, negócios de todos os tamanhos e setores podem trabalhar de forma mais eficiente. A Monday.com se adapta às necessidades de cada equipe e conecta os departamentos em uma área de trabalho unificada. Acesse Monday.com e comece seu teste grátis hoje mesmo.
year's time when the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon is an Abbott World Marathon Majors officially. Can you imagine having the runners around the world having seen this today, thinking, hang on, that's the one I can go and set some times at.
Yeah, that's where I want to go.
Yeah, it's Cape Town sold itself well today. 204, that's amazing.
So Mohamed Essa, the winner in the men's race. Who is going to win the women's race? Because this is the battle that's unfolding on Beach Road now. Just 3 runners here, and the pace is high. Dida, Fakir, and Mkwasha. It is going to be another great finish in store here, Kieran.
Yes, it's going to be a great finish. We did mention a lot of Dira Dida in the beginning of the broadcast. Here is Laura Cheruto that is in the 4th place. She's trying to close that gap, but it's going to be very, very difficult for her to close this gap down. As Sean mentioned earlier, expect to see some fireworks, especially in the last 5 kilometers, and that is where the ladies are now. They'll be nearing the 40-kilometer mark in a couple minutes, and Dira Dida, to me, looking very, very good, but Fakir as well, still like she's out on a Sunday morning jog.
Yeah, I think it might be down to the 2 of them. Mekasha seems like she's struggling a little bit and she's just falling off their tempo.
Yeah, so far it's an Ethiopian party, 1, 2, 3. So, but Dita looks very good because an experience wise, yeah, still the one to beat, I think.
Pacers have stayed true to their task all the way through, and just digging deep at the back there. Ganesh Mikasha trying to hold on. Look at the effort that is etched on her face as she tries to latch back onto that group, but they are starting to run away from her.
I think it was going to be different if the male pacemakers were to get out. It was going to turn tactical, but for now, the faster one is going to have to win because the men pacemakers are pushing them. They're saying, let's go, girls. So, yeah. It's getting faster and faster now.
It is. I'm not sure the girls are quite on tempo for a course record today. Maybe they can still surprise us in the last little bit, but I think they might be a little bit outside of that record, which means Glenn Rozaba's SA record, course record, and fastest time on African soil will still be safe.
The pace is saying, stay with us here. Well, we haven't really mentioned it, but this is where the weather that would come into play because it's quite exposed on that side, but they couldn't ask for better.
No, it looks amazing. You can see those trees are hardly moving. The wind is still.
Yeah, like yesterday, still beautiful weather. We're so lucky this year.
Sean, you're in this position at 3rd place here, and you can see them running away from you. What's going through your mind here?
I think kind of just hang on. Don't look back. You don't want to see how close the other people are. Just believe they're coming. And I think just hold on and see if maybe when you turn around and you do that little U-turn and head back towards the stadium, maybe you have a little bit more fight in you. I think at the end of the day, just don't give up. You always have something to give. So see how long you can stick it out for. Makasha still has a 2:20, so she's close to these ladies and she is in their range. So I guess it comes down to who has it on the day.
Dina looked as though she'd made a little bit of a move there.
Yeah, it's running away with it. Yeah, she's the most experienced. Like we say, she's surrounded by champions.
Her husband is a great influence.
Yeah, at home, the best coach in Ethiopia. So.
Well,
it's no surprise that she's where she is. She's leading the girls. Yeah.
Well, big break there by Adida in pole position. And I wonder if Tamara Tola is watching our YouTube broadcast of this live stream of the 2026 Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. I know he will be very proud of his wife, 29 years of age, that PB 2:18:32, phenomenal running, 2nd in Paris, 2nd in Berlin, and all 7 marathons of hers sub 2:22:22, which is that course record of Glenrose Akaba. But just looking at some of the results of the men's race, Kamohelo Mofolo, who we mentioned earlier, the 20-year-old from Lesotho, finishing 11th on debut, 2:08:50. And a great run by Stephen Mokoka, 3 times winner of the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon, also taking the first 40 to 49 category, the 2:10:48 clocking for Mokoka. Phenomenal running.
Brilliant running. He's also a former Cape Town Marathon winner, so it's nice to see him back in action here. I think 13th today is brilliant, winner of his age group, and I just think it shows like the strength you have as you get older. Like there's so much longevity in the sport of marathons.
I think Hendrik is also sitting here wondering, I think I'm going to come back.
No. I think I know Stephen wanted to do a sub 210, but 210 is brilliant. I mean, at his age, he has done well for himself. He has won the race several times before, so he must be pleased with a 210. And of course, Mofolo, wow, he's he can only get better and better. At the age of 20, he still have years and years in this game, so it's amazing.
Here we see Deridita really getting away with the women's race here. I think we have our winner here in front of us.
And that was the 40-kilometer mark there, I think. No, that couldn't have been 40. I saw a timing split there, but 2 hours, 13 minutes into the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. And it's all about Deridita right now. Still together with her two pacemakers, 38.5 kilometers covered so far. And the beautiful ocean there on her left. She won't be taking in too much of the scenery. She's just going to be thinking of that beautiful blue carpet next to Greenpoint at the finish. And Fakir in a second, trying to hold on to that gap. But once the elastic band snaps, it's very hard to come back.
Yeah, and Dita's got the advantage of the two paces sitting right in front of her there. And, you look at that gap and you think, well, that doesn't look like much. But at the pace they're running is just phenomenal.
Especially at that late stage in the marathon as well. You're on your end point and you're really just trying to get home.
We mentioned Stephen Mokoka with that 13th place finish in 2:10.48. Just behind him was Bennett Zaloy, who's improved on his marathon personal best 2:12.17. A brilliant debut as well in 15th by the local Cape Town athlete Anthony Timotheus, running 2:13.04. And then the GOAT, Eliud Kipchoge, in 16th, 2:13.29.
Wow. He managed to finish.
You don't lose it.
I mean, it's on his first leg of the tour, so he did well. I mean, he's the GOAT.
Beautiful Sea Point swimming bars on the left-hand side as they sweep around Cape Town's Riviera here. Sea Point, those huge high-rises on the right, concession stores and shops on the left, and the ocean, and the best runners in the world, and thousands of obviously the age groupers, the Abbott World Marathon Majors Tours and Travel World Championships taking place here for the age groups from 40 to 44 right up to 80, and of course those who've set out to come and conquer the Cape Town Marathon as a challenge to themselves, as amateurs, as people who just want to test themselves and want to experience the beauty of Cape Town and the beauty of running a marathon.
Yeah, you mentioned the age group championship. Did you know the oldest male here today is 85 years old and the oldest female is 95 years old?
It's phenomenal. Absolutely mind-blowing. Amazing longevity you talked about just a short while ago. I mean, if the elites at, Edna Klippegat at 47, 46, 47 is running in this company, it's incredible that they're still going in their 90s. For Quer now, that elastic well and truly snapped to Deridita. Mestawat Fakir, fellow Ethiopian, is settling here for second. Don't look back.
Yeah.
Don't look back.
You're saying what is third place thinking now? Well, now she's seen a drop off. So I wonder how close third is right now.
And there is the 40-kilometer mark there for Adida going through there, just around 2:16.20. So she has definitely increased the pace, but no course records in the women's race today. But you were mentioning earlier about all the different age categories and the older runners. Just a message on WhatsApp from Michael Mbambani, the coach of Melikaya, France. And he said that Stevens 2:10.48 today is also a new SA record for 40 plus.
Oh, there we
amazing.
go.
It's a day for records.
Yep. It's a weekend for records, isn't it, across the board here? It's just been wonderful to watch. We had both the 10K Peace Run winners yesterday breaking records, and now not a record but a superb run, well, not a record, likely by Dira. She heads towards the finish along Beach Road.
And one of the male pacers also now dropped off. Just one athlete there, and it's one of her training partners from the group in Ethiopia, so in company that she knows.
Well, it's just been phenomenal to have the quality of athlete that has come down to run the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. And there's so many marathons every weekend all over the world, and the quality of marathon running is quite unbelievable, dominated by the African continent. And so fitting that we will have in a short while Cape Town as the only major on the African continent.
And with the event growing in stature like it has year on year, we saw Mohamed Issa taking that title just now in 2 hours and 4 minutes. We have Dira Dida here, who is in your lead. Her husband, as we mentioned, the Olympic champion, Maratona. I suspect that Dira is going to go back home to Ethiopia and tell Tamarat what an amazing time she had in South Africa and Cape Town. And perhaps we can see the Olympic champion in Cape Town next year.
Bring him back, yeah. That'll be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we have Kipchoge here. The world is watching. Earlier this year, they will come here next year. There will be a lot of them here next year, yes.
I think Cape Town Marathon, Clark and his team has worked really hard to get the race to where it is today, and it's really paid off. I think they're about to get world major status, and I think it's just going to keep drawing really big names here to the South African continent and Cape Town, and I think we're going to see times getting faster and faster every year from here.
Well, after the disappointment of last year's very late cancellation due to extreme high winds and damage to infrastructure, it's just a rich reward for everyone involved to have a race like this year. Beautiful conditions, record-breaking time in the men's race, and a world-class fields across all the disciplines, and a massive support. 27,000 in the marathon and probably another 17,000 across all the other events, really does set Cape Town up as the preeminent marathon race on the continent, and fitting that it would be a marathon major.
Yeah, and what a day for it as well. I think the decision to move the race to May.
Lançamento da Growth, que é o Daily Whey, só que agora em novas quantidades. Nós já temos o whey de 1 kg e agora nós temos de tamanho de 400 gramas e tem esse aqui de 800 gramas. Eu já experimentei o de chocolate, ó, tá até aberto. Eu acho que é o meu sabor favorito, mas eu ainda vou experimentar os outros. E eu achei esse tamanho perfeito para levar em viagem, tanto que esse aqui eu já vou guardar para levar para minha próxima.
Somos todos atletas, somos todos growth.
Como vou fazer meu post agora?
Difícil estudar assim, viu? Ai, não consigo escolher.
They couldn't have made a better decision, and the weather conditions here show it. They have 1 kilometer to go. She's looking strong.
And you can see also 2:19:37 with that 1 kilometer to go. Bear in mind it's 42.2 kilometers, so she's going to run the time of maybe around 2:23, so just outside that course record, but for where they were still up to 30 kilometers, this has been a very fast finish by Dida.
Yeah, you have to wonder how fast can she sprint that last little bit.
And the pacemaker there, as he's been doing for the past kilometer, he's really soaking in the Cape Town atmosphere, waving to all the crowds. Yes, I am the pacemaker for Adida, and she is going to win.
Well, there's Glenrose Cabo's record, which is very likely to stay intact here, but that won't be of too much concern to Dida, because she is on her way to victory through Three Anchor Bay. And the second place runner, Mestawat Fakir, fellow Ethiopian, is holding firm on that position. She's not going to impact the race winner here, but she's done a really, really solid job. But Dida is on her way to glory here at the Cape Town Marathon.
Yeah, you would have expected the ladies to run a bit faster, but I think the first half was a bit slowish, too tactical, and but still a good performance from Dida.
Interesting, this quiet section of road here, the opportunity to just contemplate and be alone with your thoughts for a little while, and then soak it in, and then roll into the finish where there are huge crowds either side of the barriers there. As Dida is on Helen Suzman Boulevard, the closing kilometre of the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon.
In that quiet section there, Gerald, I'm thinking perhaps she's wondering what she's going to go and buy at the waterfront later with the $35,000 that she's picking up for first place.
Absolutely, it's just down the road, and there is the stadium looming on the left-hand side there. She'll turn in just before then to the finish and be heralded as the champion after a very, very well-judged race, sitting in that big pack of probably around about 8 for most of the race. The pace set for a large portion of the first half by Edna Kiplagat, the 47-year-old superstar, and taken the second half of the race and through Company Gardens. That's where it started to break up.
And that course record is safe today for the ladies.
It is safe. There we go. Confirmation of that. Because that time has just drifted past. Glenrose, you're okay.
Yeah, she's good. It just shows what a brilliant race Glenrose ran as well 2 years ago.
And also on that day, they were also very tactical in the first half. Glenrose really ran a very, very fast last 10 kilometers. And, for a South African to do that, phenomenal running. As Dida goes past the 42-kilometer mark, it's going to be a final left turn, and then she's going to be on that magical blue carpet. Gerald, your winner of the 2026 Sanlam Cape Town Marathon, Adira Dida, doing it in style.
She is doing it in a superb style, a worthy champion she is proving to be, because she joins a list of phenomenal runners who won this race. And she does so in grand style. Onto the blue carpets, Adira from Ethiopia is going to take victory here at the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon in just over a minute outside the record time, but that matters little. She is the champion of 2026 at the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. Brilliant performance.
Finishing just on a minute outside that course record, Sean. She really flew in those last 5 kilometers.
I mean, they were on tempo to run a 2:26, 2:27 at one point, so they really put the foot down. It shows why the group broke up so much. And here comes Fakir in second place. Brilliant run for her as well, under 2:24.
So second place, first and second Ethiopia, Mr. Fakir. And
third is Ethiopian also.
Yep.
So podium all Ethiopian.
Not an unfamiliar scenario in marathon running, as Mikasha takes the third step on the podium. The pacemaker's done an excellent job, and so Chiruto comes home as Leah Chiruto, the first Kenyan home.
First Kenyan home in fourth, and she's going to be just on about her personal best. So a very solid run there by Leah Chiruto, herself a 2:24 marathon runner at her best.
Olha só o que chegou aqui pra mim. É um novo colchão da Ema, o One Light. Com um preço que cabe no seu bolso, ele traz qualidade para o seu sono com a tecnologia Ema. São 2 camadas de espuma para trazer conforto e alívio de tensões, além da capa fixa hipoalergênica e os clássicos da Ema. 10 anos de garantia, 100 noites de teste e devolução gratuita com reembolso total, caso você ache que não é o melhor produto para você. Tudo isso por um preço imbatível. Então aproveite esse lançamento e investe no seu sono.
and it is an Ethiopian 1, 2, 3 in the women's race. It was an Ethiopian 1 and 2 in the men's race with the Kenyan in third. And Chiruto, I'm sure, will be very, very happy to hear that her fellow countryman Lomwai picked up that podium spot in the men's race. But for Quer, a well-deserved little rest there on the blue carpet after 42.2 kilometers around beautiful Cape Town.
Well, phenomenal run by these athletes, and as we've been saying, these are the cream of the crop, the elite runners, the very pinnacle of the sport. But they are an inspiration to thousands and thousands, and we hope that this race today would have inspired thousands to come and join us here in Cape Town in 2027.
Yeah, what could be more inspiring than these fast times? Eliud Kipchoge running on the streets. I think it's just going to draw so many people to the sport.
And that, how beautiful is that? That is Cape Town at its most beautiful. It's been a cool start to the morning, a bit misty, but clearing up and the sun shining down on the city of Cape Town, the Cape Town Stadium, a legacy of the 2010 FIFA World Cup, which took place in the city. And there's a legend finishing it. Edna Kiplagat, another wonderful performance, wonderful run.
2:25 clocking for Edna, 46 years of age. It's phenomenal. I know we gave kudos to Stephen Mokoka with the 2:10, and I think Stephen was about 41 or 42.
Yeah.
But brilliant running there by Edna Kiplagat, and also, hats off to Clark and his team, Nina doing the elite field coordination here at the finish. The attention to detail, these elite athletes being treated like VIPs as they should. And I think, once these athletes go back to Kenya, go back to Ethiopia, they are going to be spreading the word of the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. And this event is only going to grow in stature. And if Eliud Kipchoge had anything to do with this year's Sanlam Cape Town Marathon, I think we're going to see even bigger names coming through to Cape Town and on the African continent.
And great decision to move to Cape Town from October to May. I mean, what a beautiful weather. Zero wind. On Saturday, 0 wind today. Fast times in the men, 2:04, amazing. And course records in the 10. That's amazing. So, great decision to move the race to May.
Yeah, the Cape Town Weather Guard certainly came out to play today, blessing the event. It was only 3 weeks ago that events were being cancelled in Cape Town due to strong winds and rain. And the weather guards today really blessing Cape Town, and we've seen a multitude of really fast running. I mean, Hendrik, would you ever be able to say that in our lifetime we would have seen a 2:04 marathon in South Africa, in Cape Town?
I never dreamed of that. But thanks to the great thinking, the dreams of the organizers, we are seeing those times. Big efforts from Clark and his team, bringing all these great runners to our shores. And now we're seeing fast times.
And you see there Adane with his second place badge around his fellow teammates, really happy with his performance, and can guarantee you they're giving a debrief of the race.
Definitely.
Well, we cannot emphasize the brilliance of having these world-class athletes come out here, and as we'll keep saying, I mean, it's spreading the word, no doubt, and getting more and more of these athletes to come and join them and many more here in the years to come.
And there's their manager, Malcolm Anderson, who I spoke to yesterday at the Race Hotel, and very happy with his athletes. And here is one of the age group athletes coming through.
Well, the Avid World Marathon Majors Tours and Travel age group championships, world championships taking place here, and these with the yellow numbers are those athletes who set off from Beach Road shortly after the elites here, and these are superb athletes who commit to running 40 to 44 age group athletes, and they are absolutely brilliant. So it's very, very impressive.
No, I have to say, after seeing all these fast times, as a coach, I'm very motivated, and want to say to our athletes out there, they better start training hard now, and try to get into the race for next year. You know, this is the place to run your best times, and I think our marathon running is gonna
because you see that it's possible, you see that it's happening here, and it just drags you faster. So I think on our South African athletics, like our community, it's going to have such a positive impact, and we're going to have so many more men and ladies stepping into it, wanting to get those faster times and just being involved with it.
And not only that, we mentioned yesterday how we saw Arthur Jankies, the Two Oceans ultra winner, running a really quick 10K. Perhaps this is a turning point where those type of athletes aren't going to go to the ultras. They're going to come to the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon and make a name for themselves on the international stage.
Yes, I think that's a big thing, being on that international marathon stage, running fast marathon times and competing with the whole world on that.
Yeah, it's this is going to become, you feel, the go-to race for the runners, stepping perhaps away from the ultras. Not that they are not big races, they're huge races, but this could become the one to do. What a sight it is. Cape Town looking an absolute picture today here as the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon unfolds. Yeah, and thousands out there doing their lap of the Cape Town Marathon as amateurs, as age group competitors, and enjoying it in this true beauty. Little bit of a flap of a breeze, but nothing that is going to trouble these athletes at all.
No, hopefully just a bit to cool you down as you move through.
Yes. But yeah, beautiful scenes. And after 2025's disappointment, there we go, out on the roads of Cape Town at Rondebosch Common, the thousands and thousands making their way around the Cape Town Marathon with broad smiles, enjoying the great conditions and incredible support. Cape Town is renowned for the way it opens its heart to the athletes, be they cyclists or runners, triathletes, trail runners, whatever they might be. So often they have big events here, and Cape Town just says, come and join us.
Yeah, it's fun to race in Cape Town because there is so much support out there.
And this is where the fun is. We saw a lot of strained faces up front in the leading bunch, but these are the athletes that make up that 27,000 and the numbers. These are the athletes that when they're running along a sea point, the phones are out, they're taking the selfies, they're taking the photos of the ocean. And you can guarantee that Instagram stories and Instagram later today will be publishing many of these athletes' feats with their medals, and a lot of camaraderie out on the route, and a lot of spectators as well. Cape Town, the place to be.
Yes.
Absolutely. Just so good to see the camaraderie that a race like this inspires and engenders within the race and without. In other words, around the roads is just sensational. More of the age groupers.
But don't forget that the social runners are also very competitive. A lot of guys are pushing for personal best here. And a lot of guys are going to get personal best. You know, this is the place to be, like, for, to run fast. They also want to improve their times.
A lot of athletes will aim for this race to be their PB race because we don't have that many fast marathons in South Africa, especially up at altitude. They're a lot hillier, it's a lot harder. So I think a lot of athletes will be going for PBs today.
Olympic triathlete Jamie Riddle's just completed in 2:25.
That's amazing.
That's
yeah.
Especially after his fall.
Yeah, last week in I think it was the half Ironman or the Ironman, where he took that corner and really banged his knee up pretty bad. So great performance there by Jamie. I'm sure his dad watching at home, Alec Riddle, will be very proud of his son's performance.
Getting up again and coming out and doing the job brilliantly. Yeah, we love it, and it's lovely to see all these athletes out. One of the age groupers as well, getting through, and so many of them, the opportunity to come from all over the world and come down to Cape Town. So I think there's some 8,000 athletes from all over the world, of which around 1,800 age group runners. So it just is, it's a gift because you've come for the week. If you were in town any time during the last week, you would have seen runners all over town, through the center of town, through the waterfront, running in their kit, just getting the feel and soaking it in and preparing for this day.
runners really taking over Cape Town. And in that previous shot, those were still runners that were pretty handy themselves, definitely finishing way under 3 hours. These athletes here are closer towards the sub 4, I would say. When we went to this shot earlier, I saw one of the pacers there. They had the flag from the back, and those are the official pacing buses. And just for the viewers at home, it's not the bus that you sit on, but the bus that you run with. As we just take a recap of the men's wheelchair results, a brilliant new course record there from David Weir, 8 times London Marathon champion, adding the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon to his arsenal of trophies, 1 hour, 30 minutes and 20 seconds ahead of Jetse Platt. And the defending champion Shaw Watanabe in 3rd.
As much as South Africa would like to claim Jetse Platt, he isn't a South African, confirming Manuel Escar's victory in an utterly dominant fashion. Nearly 9 minutes inside the old record time for the Swiss athlete, 1:43.25. Shen Jiaochun in 2nd place and Deng Yuran in 3rd, 5 minutes behind her fellow countrywoman in the women's wheelchair race at the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon 2026. Beautiful conditions and world-class performances by these athletes. Record-breaking performances all around us. Heading out on that loop of death, if you like. These runners would have just gone past the finish just to their right-hand side and thinking, oh, I've still got a little bit about 7 Ks to go. And they'll be strong, they'll be focused, no problem at all, as they would have glanced at that blue carpet down there and say, I'll be there in 7 kilometers time.
And it's really hard, you know, you run past literally the finish, you can hear the race announcer bringing in your fellow finishers, and you still have 7 kilometers to go.
It's not easy.
And it's the longest 7 kilometers of your life.
Yeah, no, it's not a fun part of the race.
As they say, it builds character. The euphemism. Here we go. These runners doing, these are very, very strong runners.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, these are still sub-3 performance, probably around 250 or so. You see one of the athletes from Fourways Running Club, Edgemead, one of the local Cape Town clubs, but a whole host of internationals. You mentioned, Gerald, over 8,000, and the majority of these yellow-numbered athletes are those internationals, and you can see that they are having a great time on the streets of Cape Town. And as we mentioned before, the 2026 Sanlam Cape Town Marathon, really the place to be. And if today's event was anything to go by, I'm really hoping that that rubber stamp gets stamped on the page.
Yeah.
And next year's Sanlam Cape Town Marathon is a World Marathon Major, because it is so fitting for the event. The first and only on African soil.
Yes.
And if anything of this year's race was to go by, next year is going to be insanely good.
Absolutely. This is setting the tone.
Yeah, based on the times that we got, the quality times the elites finished, yeah, looks like we're getting that major status.
Right, we can go down to the finish line and hear from some of the athletes who have completed. I think we're starting with some of the wheelchair athletes.
Manuela, congratulations on your victory here at the 2026 Sanlam Cape Town Marathon, a 1:43 today. How did you enjoy the course? What was the vibe like, and how are you feeling with your victory today?
Oh my God, I'm so happy. This was amazing. Like the crowd out there and the energy of the city is just amazing. So thanks so much for having me. I had the best day, and I mean, it was a beautiful day for racing.
There's quite a big lead up into this race, and it's a big week, and it's a lot of hurry up and wait, isn't it? And when you get onto the dance floor on the start line, it becomes real, doesn't it? It's quite a thing.
I was so excited to come here. In the past, it was never right with the timing with track racing, so I retired from track 2 years ago, and finally I made it here, and I'm so excited that I was able to come, and I had a really good time.
Take us through the race today. What unfolded, especially in those last couple of kilometers?
It's a challenging course. Some parts are really technical. Some parts are a bit, with cobblestones. So for us, it's always a bit tricky. But actually, I enjoyed the roads. They were really smooth, and I like really the long straights. But yeah, it was challenging, and I'm happy.
The weather, the people, the support en route?
Yeah, so the weather was a challenge because we had this fog in the morning, and we always have to call what we gonna use as a gear, because we use different gloves when it's raining or wet. So I didn't know if it's gonna work out with my dry gear, so I used my gloves for rain, and it turns out it was fine. It was a bit of a challenge, but
Congratulations and well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
David, congratulations. We're so excited to have you here, and now that all is said and done, take us through the race. How was your day?
Yeah, very good. It was a bit humid at the beginning, I thought, so I had to get my breathing right for the first 4 or 5 miles. There's a lot of climbing at the beginning, but once I sort of got settled in my rhythm, I felt pretty good. And I was
the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. How would you rate this as an experience for you personally as an athlete?
Oh, amazing. The crowd was amazing. The setting's great, the mountains and the course is great. Yeah, I'll definitely be back. It's an amazing country, and I've been welcomed from the moment I got off the plane till I go home tomorrow. But yeah, it's been a fantastic country. I'm thankful.
We see the racing up front was quite sharp. We see between third and fourth a photo finish. That's the sort of racing you want, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. The middle pack racers do normally do that, but it has split over the years because everyone's getting quicker and stuff like that. But back about 10 years ago, everyone would be like that until the end. But I prefer being on my own now because I'm a little bit older and I can't really sprint so much anymore, and I just sort of get into a rhythm and race at my own pace. But yeah, it's good to have a sprint finish at the end. The guys are, it took a long time to get the photo finish, but yeah, it's always good. It's drama, isn't it? It's good.
Take us through your personal experience on the route today and the racing. We know you got out ahead. You spoke about that at the press conference earlier as well. It's where is the decision? How do you make that decision where and when you want to go?
It's different in different races. You just get that feel that maybe you can break away. I did think Jets was going to stay with me for a while, but it was just like a coasting sort of downhill, and I just sort of opened up a little bit, and I sort of was pulling away a little bit. But yeah, I thought he'd be with me all the way to the end, but it wasn't the case. But he's a really strong athlete, and he's still new to the game. He was a triathlete, and he's still getting his, but he's had a few podiums as well. So he's a great athlete, and I got a lot of respect for him.
Congratulations, well done. We've loved having you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Lovely to hear from Manuela Scar and David Weir, our winners of the women's and men's wheelchair marathons here at the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon. Well, running in the shade alongside Rondebosch Common, and now out on the roads. Look at the crowds along the roads, looking out for familiar faces, friends, or just supporting the runners.
Yeah, I think it's quite a different experience for these runners out at the back. There's a lot more support out there, I think. But then there's also other aspects, like they have to carry their own gels and water bottles and stuff with them because they don't have the elite tables that we have on races. So I think they just have such a different experience sometimes, but it's still such a fun experience. There's so much to it.
I'll tell you when to stop.
This is said with the greatest respect, but as an elite runner, the opportunity to run a race like this doesn't really happen to you, to the elite runners. So it's a very different experience for the amateurs and those who are looking to break 3.5 or 4 hours.
They just have so much more runners around them to run with it. I think it's very different, but it's so fun. I think any way you do it is
And spending that long out on your feet, running it, I mean, a lot of the elites can't believe how long and the respect that you have for these athletes.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a much longer time on their legs that they spend.
Yeah, it's amazing because if you are elite and you happen to bomb and try to finish, try running 3 hours, you'll end up walking. And that's when you're going to respect guys who are running 3:30 under 4 minutes.
Yeah.
But like Shian is saying, different experiences. But I have to say the races are doing very well. There are tables, refreshments tables every 3 kilometers, 5K. So, they're doing well. So these guys are still getting a very good experience and nice support from the race organizer themselves.
You both have run globally, Kian, you know races globally. I mean, how does South Africa stack up in terms of laying on events? Obviously, Cape Town and the big events, the ultras obviously are world class, but just across the board.
I think they match it. I think for me, I love racing at home because there's so much more spirit and stuff to it. Like, the people and stuff out there, but the food stations are amazing. I know today they have Woolworths food stations out there with so many different types of carbs and stuff which you need on race, and they have really good water stations, and I think we really do match it out there. We really do put our best foot forward when it comes to racing.
Yeah, definitely. I participated in the Hamburg